I can't have anything nice, can I? How is that going to fuck up? Oh, you know why? Because I have it on my browser that I use to stream, and YouTube thinks I'm a bot again. Wonderful. Okay, let's restart this. I want to hear that song, chat. Probably emotionally healthy to indulge some melancholy every so often, chat. When I was a teenager, I had a list of songs on a playlist called Catharsis, and this was not one of them. But I like it. I was listening to AVGN the other day, and he played this in his Zelda chronology video, like the original version. I'm just like, that's such a great song that he's playing. And someone in chat, Tetrabex in particular, knew it offhand as Song of Storms from Zelda. Like, that's a really good song. The one thing I can never, ever, ever give Nips shit for is music. They're just very musically gifted. And it's because I have a working theory that Japan is like such an emotionally stunted country. There has to be that whenever you watch like a show that's made in Japan, it's like the most emotionally manipulative shit on the planet. So for a Japanese person to feel anything, it has to be profound and overly emotional and manipulative. So that is the inner workings of music, technically. How do you string together some arbitrary sequences of an instrument to make people feel something? And they're very good at doing that, as it is. So, I've had a rough week trying to deal with payment processors. I've been told, according to Stripe, that I'm not allowed to have a merchandising service because I have incited violence. Not just incited violence, against a protected minority. So I leave it up to your imagination what that could have been. Could TND posting have done me in? What's really pissing me off about this, by the way, just as a concept, is like, even on YouTube, no matter what you do, you can just make a new account and then start over on your channel. And then if you don't fuck up again, then you can keep your YouTube account. If you go out and if I commit a hate crime, if I literally in the real world facilitate a hate crime against somebody, I will go to jail for less than my entire life. But according to Stripe, if I say something that they don't like at any point in time, they can retroactively ban me forever from ever making money, which without due process, without even telling me. I always find out this shit through third parties. And it's just like, there is no end. When you piss off the bankers, there is no end to their scorn and punishment of you. There is no due process. There's not even terms. They just say no forever. And what's really, really aggravating is that Stripe as a company processed in 2024 $1.4 trillion through their networks. And that is 1.3% of the global GDP that process only through Stripe. And they're not even American. It is owned by two guys called the Collison brothers. And they're Irish. So there is an Irish pair in Ireland that handles a over 1% of the entire world's annual GDP that personally has decided I can never ever process payments directly ever again. And the only thing that can fix this is the government, and the government does nothing ever. Despite not being able to do anything, I have actually carried forward as I do. I'm going to download this real quick. Okay, no, it's just not going to work. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. I still have gone ahead and impotently written my government for redress of my fucking grievances. So, will this amount to anything? Probably not. Nothing ever amounts to anything, chat. But obviously, I was put here to suffer. That's not in the question. I suffer continuously. And I suffer for my freedom to say whatever the fuck I want about whoever the fuck I want, even if that is TTD, T&D, chat. And I feel like someone posted the Revelations verse about it, the mark of the beast and needing to use the mark of the beast to buy anything, and that you can't buy without the mark of the beast. But in this time, there will be martyrs. You will have to die. Some of you may die to fight the mark of the beast. That is a sacrifice that the big man, what did Terry like to call him? Mr. God, the big man. That's what he is willing to make. So I am here to suffer. That's my job. I may die as a result of my suffering, but suffer I will forever. And that's just what life is sometimes. I could be worse. I could be Indian. So you must always keep yourself positive poly. Let's take a second to reflect on what we're thankful for, chat. It is Lent after all. I'm thankful for not being Indian. Is anyone in chat thankful for not being Indian at this exact moment? Let's take a moment to think that if you were to calculate the entire population of Earth, India has a population of like 1.5 billion people. And you take the total population of Earth, there is like a 25% chance that you would have been born Indian. So there, but for the grace of God, go I, chat. Anyways, let's see. I have to find something. Let's see. What do I have lined up that I can skip around to? That'll give me some energy. You know what? Let's skip all this other shit. Let's skip all this other shit that I want to talk about. And let's just get right to the England segment. I feel like we need to go straight to the England segment to liven me up a little bit, pull me out of the dumps. Or as the English call it, chat, the tip. Because I think I've talked about this, but if not, I'll talk about it again because it's just something that brings me such mirth and joy, chat. There's a place in England, if you can believe it, called Birmingham. Not to be confused with the city Birmingham, Alabama, which is famous, world-renowned, respected, a cultural center, a place that people actually want to go in the United States. This is Birmingham, Great Britain, great in air quotes. And this is a dump, a literal dump. Sorry, the King of England was just screaming at me. Wait, hold up. English detected, door locked, gun at the ready, chat. Oh, I do need a an English news hamster. That would be nice. Okay, so the garbage collectors are on strike in Birmingham, and as a result, the city is completely filled with trash. People are dumping trash on the streets, street corners, people's farmlands. Basically, it's an unlivable hellhole, basically, that is now festering with rats. And although it does not get too hot in England, because the sun never shines in England anymore, the summer heats will eventually come, and then all that trash is going to bake and boil and spill over and flood the air of Birmingham with the putrid decay, the wretched, nauseating miasma of rot and filth. Just God, who could have imagine? Is there anyone on Earth who might have wished for such a thing to happen to England for this? Maybe I'm like Styx Exenhammer, but instead of a Stolas, I pray to the big man. I say, big man, do me a solid. I know that there are sinister, diabolical forces on Earth preventing me from getting a payment processor, but as a compensation prize, as a booby prize, how about you just dump all the trash in the world in England? So, that's one thing, right? So it's filled with trash. And, I posited a question to the English, and I said, you know what? If this were to happen in the United States, and a city, perhaps Birmingham, Alabama, was suddenly filled with trash, what do you think would happen? What do you think would be the first thing that people in the United States would do upon hearing this news? And I immediately think you have a fleet of citizen-owned Ford F-150s, probably 1,000 within a square mile of the city center of Birmingham. And there are many of those who will own like one of those flatbed trailers that just have like a slight rail and use it to like tie down an ATV or whatever. But so there's so many of those. And they even make those in the United States, those trailers. So it's like you probably have literally hundreds of people within Birmingham who have a proper truck and then a proper trailer with which to haul garbage to the dump if the trashmen are not willing to come collect it. And I was told by the English that there was a Birmingham city ordinance for their tip where you are allowed 12 visits to the tip per year, and you must arrive with an appointment. So if you have a pile of fucking garbage in your front yard and even a truck to haul that fucking garbage, you must call the tip and ask them for a license and a scheduled time to come visit the tip. And you have a rationing of visits to the tip to dump your garbage into the landfill. And one person trying to do a community service and round up the trash on their block is going to be cock-blocked by the government telling them that they're not allowed to do so. Someone said that if you do something like tear down a brick wall in your yard and you have construction waste from the bricks that are left over, it can take you years to clean up your own yard because you'll quickly run out of trips to the tip just by dumping the bricks from your mini construction project. It's like, how the fuck do you live like this? It's so endemic of every single thing that makes the English the English. It's like, how have you managed by your own design to torment and configure your country to operate in such a whimsical way that there's no real solutions? And then I said, you should just dump the trash on the picket line because they're picketing. And then I said, no, you can't do that because they'll fucking kill you. I remember I watched this movie about this kid. I'm actually a fan. Okay, this is embarrassing. I'm a fan of English cinema. I like the pacing. English movies, because it's such a shitty country, and they're like, Hollywood is so small. It's like slower pace and only a couple of places, and they have to really focus on making the writing good because that's all they have to work with. So it's actually pretty good to watch English movies compared to American movies, which are just slop for the dumbest, most low IQ fucking common denominator in the whole fucking country. So I watched a English movie about like a little boy, and he's gay. He's not really gay. He's just effeminate. He's like the son of a coal miner, and he wants to dance. And it's like Billy or something. Billy Elliot, that's it. And I remember in this movie, it was during I think the Thatcher era, and there was like these huge coal protests going. And if you tried to scab as a coal miner in England during these protests, they would just straight up fucking kill you. They would like beat the fuck out of you and like cut like scab into your fucking face and shit. So then you have I guess that proud heritage carries on to the modern day, where they'll, if you dump trash on the picket line, they'll literally come to your house and stab you. They'll hunt you down and spray paint nonce on your van or some shit. So the British, they not only are incapable of keeping their society running through the government, they're not only incapable of cleaning up their own garbage with their own initiative because of government regulation. So the government is both failing and also prohibiting them from working on their own to begin with. They also have to live in fear because if they piss off the trashmen, they'll get fucking stabbed and die. Really just remarkable. And you know what the real kicker is? The reason why the city is bankrupt and can't afford to pay the trashmen is that they were sued and they were ordered to pay 760 million pounds sterling for equality in garbage men. So you pay the garbage men quite well because they're doing physical labor in the hot sun, allegedly the hot sun, and you pay them well because of their labor. But then they said, actually, you're underpaying the WOCs who are working in the office doing accounting and shit for the dump. So therefore, you have to pay them the same amount as the workmen. And they said, well, we can't do that, so we're just going to pay the workmen minimum wage to make it fair. The court was like, okay, that's fine. The union was like, that's not fine, actually. So it's actually like a Gordian knot. I tried to look at this Gordian knot and like, well, why don't people do it themselves? You can't do that. Well, why don't they just pay the trashmen more? They can't do that. Why don't they do this? They can't do that. It's like, okay, so you're just fucked. The only thing that will save you is the United States of America D-Daying into London and just opening fire on everybody they see. That's basically your only hope at this point. And guess what? We got shit to do, okay? We've got our own problems. We got Canada to conquer. We got Greenland to conquer. London is at the bottom of the list of places to conquer. There are places in the Middle East that have oil that we prefer to conquer first, okay? So, that's the issue. That's right. Pick up the trash. Okay. That is the English news. Actually, it's not. There's one other thing. There's two things actually. Really. Oh my god, I have so much shit to talk right now. At least I don't get me payment processes shut down, isn't it? Shame. This is apparently a very frustrating conversation that Drama Fan would like me to watch, and as Drama Fan is the official R Drama ambassador, I guess I have no choice but to watch it. So apparently this is horrifically frustrating. Let's take a listen.
Have you watched Adolescence yet?
Okay.
No.
I promise you guys I'll do a quick review if you subscribe to the Locals. I have a plan for a couple different things that I want to do Locals videos on. I will give my thoughts on Adolescence. I have watched it. And even as like somebody who enjoys British cinema, just as a spoiler, it's really slow. And I don't know what the fuck the point of it is. I know what the point of it is, but it's just like the pacing is just horrific in that service of nothing. But I'll give my full thoughts at a later time, chat.
No, I haven't. I probably won't. It's a film on Netflix, and most of my time right now is spent visiting the country.
It's a four-part series on Netflix, and
Okay.
everyone is talking about it. It is prompting conversations about toxic masculinity, smartphone use, young.
I think, if I remember correctly, I think the black woman here is actually a based black queen with her natural black hair. I think that she is a part of the Reform Party, or which is why they're so hostile to her. And they asked her, "Have you seen this TV show?" And she just says, "No, I'm busy. I'm campaigning." And they're like offended. Like, what you mean you haven't seen the latest swap? You gotta watch the latest slop. Everyone is talking about it.
Men feeling that they're being ignored, the idea of misogyny being increased in school. Why would you not want to know what people are talking about?
Well, I think that those are all important issues, and those were issues that I've been talking about for a long time. But in the same way that I don't need to watch Casualty to know what's going on in the NHS, I don't need to watch a specific Netflix drama to understand what's going on. It's a fictional series.
The gap in her teeth makes me think of Condoleezza Rice. If you don't know, Condoleezza Rice was like the Secretary of State for George W. Bush. I have not thought of Condoleezza Rice in a long fucking time. But so she makes a good point. She doesn't have to watch the fucking telly to know what's going on in the real world when she's out in the real world.
Not a documentary. What I've been talking about recently, for instance, is banning smartphones in schools. I've been going to schools all around the country. I was in Evesham just yesterday, talking to head teachers, talking to the students, and they talk about the problems that phones are causing.
The difference this documentary has made compared to, say, a politician, any politician, leader of a party, the Prime Minister, going around talking in schools, is this has made much more of an impact than any politician has in terms of what people are talking about right now. So it's...
Is that shameful? Like, you can't say that in the U.S. You can't say that any documentary has punched above Donald Trump's weight in getting people to talk about certain things. She's literally saying that our country is so ineffective and our politicians suck so much fucking ass that this 4-part miniseries where nothing fucking happens is the most important thing that you could possibly be doing with your time right now.
Really confusing that you don't want to know how this has made an impact.
Oh yeah, and it's not a documentary. It's not like the creator even came, because there was a controversy where the kid is a little white boy, and there was a popular conception that the murder that the show is about was actually the murder perpetrated by the black kid from Wales that looks like a fucking demon. And the creators came out and said, no, it's not based on anything in reality. It's not based on nothing. It's just a drama series. So she's saying documentary, like this actually happened, which really shows that she's an NPC, because the drama series is shot in a particular way where you might mistake it for a documentary if you're like a fucking retard. But she probably has an IQ of like 90 tops.
We need to know more about smartphone use.
I can read what people are saying about it. I look at research. This is something that I've been looking at for a long time.
You wouldn't want to know straight from the horse's mouth.
One of the things
straight from the horse's... It's a fake show. It didn't happen.
Is the fact that just yesterday we had Labour telling us that they're not going to be investigating the rape gang scandal, something which had happened all across the country.
Is she reformed for real? I didn't know if that was accurate.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about a fictional documentary.
Do you think
we had thousands of, if I may just finish, we had thousands of victims. Female victims, those are girls, young women, and some boys too. I met the mother of a boy who killed himself.
She's Conservative Party, my bad.
I want to talk about that because that is...
Conservatives are Tories, right? She's a Tory.
Netflix drama is something that people are talking about. But it is not the only thing. There are many other things that are going on. And my job as opposition leader is to hold the government to account, get them to hold a full national inquiry on what is one of the biggest scandals in our country.
And do you stand by the thing you just said a moment ago, that you're comparing adolescence with Casualty? These TV programs. Did you really mean to say that?
I'm saying very clearly that my job is not to watch lots of TV. My job is to get out there and make sure that I'm talking about the issues that are happening in the country right now.
I like her. How does the UK listen to this discussion and not side with her? Because she's right. I'm not watching fucking television. I'm trying to like listen to what concerns people actually have. How do you listen to this conversation and not immediately be like, yeah, she's right?
And yes, of course, we should be talking about misogyny. The rape gang scandal is one of the most misogynistic incidents that has happened in our country. So me talking about that, me asking for a national inquiry is doing my job. But telling me that I should go home and watch Netflix is you trying to tell me how to do my job. But I don't think that's how to do my job. I can read about...
At what point did I tell you...
Well, you've just said that you were surprised that I haven't watched it. We don't have to watch a particular show.
No, dude, this show, Adolescence, they're showing it in schools right now. Like they're like making the kids sit around and watch this miniseries in both the UK and the Netherlands because they want to drive home the point that stabbing little girls because they won't put out is actually a bad thing. Like this is what, like this documentary has like completely reprogrammed the brains of like fucking Angloids and Europeans. They don't know. It's like a nuclear bomb. It's like a novel virus. They have no idea how to cope with it.
Going on in the country. I have met parents of children who've had those experiences. I have met children who've been victims. I think that that is enough for me to go out there, make policy, look at the research.
Yeah, adolescence
but I don't think the right thing is to be deciding who has watched which show and working out whether that means that you are informed. There are many ways for us to be informed.
Adolescence has made more of an impact than any politician has on parents.
She said it twice. She's allowed that thought to ruminate in her fucking head for like 2 minutes, and she thought it was such a poignant point to make that she's brought it up a second time. Adolescence is the most important thing in this entire fucking country.
Into misogyny, and yet you are saying, despite that, you don't need to know about it.
No, I haven't said that I don't need to know about the issue.
You don't need to watch it.
I don't need to watch a specific show to know what is going on in this country. It's a fictional show. Let's talk about what's real. I'm going out there every day. I have constituents coming to me telling me what they're worried about. I had a colleague, an MP, who was murdered due to Islamic terrorism. You look at what's happening in Southport, you look at what's happening in Rotherham, in Oldham, there are real issues. I'm getting out there talking about it, asking me to...
Your politicians are being killed by Muslims and you're still importing them? Is this real life? They're just straight up fucking killing your politicians and that hasn't shooken them enough to like do something about it? For real?
Drama that lots of other people have seen, have written about, have told me about. I know what it's about. I think it is important, but it was also it's also fiction. Let's talk about what's happening to real people. You had a mother of a woman who was killed. Let's talk about her. That's real life. That's real life.
She's like astounded. Like it's like when you talk to somebody really fucking stupid and you're like straight, you know, you're completely in the right. And they just like stare. Look at that fluoride stare that guy on the left in the middle is giving her. Just straight up 100% fluoride. Okay. And it's like she's like just reiterating herself. Like, how do you not understand the distinction between fiction and reality? That's crazy, man. Imagine being fucking British. What a nightmare. And one more thing. So, Russel Brand, also English, has recently become kind of a conservative darling in like the super normie, Tim Pool, safe edgy sphere of online discourse, because he's like a former liberal from the United Kingdom, but he started being like really critical, I think, about like vaccine stuff related to COVID, the COVID lockdowns, and a couple other things. And a lot of people, I remember when he was just becoming like a traitor, they said he's becoming conservative so that when the rape charges drop, people like him. And in fact, I think I talked about, or I had seen it recently, that he had like recently endorsed Andrew Tate. And it's just like, what the fuck is going on? Now he's being charged with rape. And he's like famous because he like dated like a famous person, if I remember correctly. Like he was like the love interest of like a super celebrity in the UK. And then he had like his own platform after that, if I remember correctly. But what's kind of weird about this, and this is not, honestly, this is a little bit concerning. It's that the rape allegations are literally 30 years old now. Almost 30. 25. There was one in 1999, which makes it sound like a behind the Arby's joke. A 2001, 2004, and 2004 and 2005, the same woman. So 4 different women across a span of about 6 years from the late 1990s to the early 2000s. He was in the movies with P. Diddy? Oh my God, bro. And then he gets popular on the internet and he starts talking about Andrew Tate, and then he's accused of rape. And it's like, because now what sucks about these allegations is that because they were so long ago, people are just going to say like, well, they're trying to bring him down because he endorsed Andrew Tate and the Matrix is after him. Like there's enough time here where there's going to be enough cope to go around. And honestly, I don't even know how they're going to convict him unless they have like rape kits that have been in storage for 25 years. Like, how are they going to prove that this is Russel Brand? One of them was raped orally, so it's not like they would have a rape kit with DNA in it, you know? Really, really interesting. I did see J.K. Rowling personally took a shit all over him, which was pretty funny. The English amused me, I gotta admit. Sometimes they're pretty funny. I don't know. Sucks to be him, I guess. Don't fuck around, kids. You will find out. Okay, so this was a flash in the pan. I'll give you the brief. This is a game that was put up on Steam, and it's a rape game, an explicit pornographic 3D game where you rape your own mother. And it was immediately censored by the Commonwealth countries for not having a PEGI score. And then the outrage kind of like spread out massively. And then he voluntarily took the game down off of Steam. So Steam took no action to censor this game. The creator voluntarily took it down himself. So I guess what happened is that he probably did not expect it to become such a like a hot topic, and he probably got doxxed, and then he probably took it down to not have to deal with the consequences of doing this. But CWC Simulator. Yeah. Here's the description of the game in case you're curious. No Mercy is a 3D, choice-driven adult visual novel with a huge focus on incest and male domination. After your mother's affair shatters your family, you take on a new role, not to fix what's broken, but to claim her for yourself, unveil her deepest secrets, subdue her, and make all women yours. I think there's even a line in the advertisement somewhere else where it says, become a woman's worst nightmare, because it's like rape. And then I think one of the first things posted in this thread was by this Shardy poster, who I'm not on good terms with at the moment, was this. Someone reported this and said that it was a reaction video. And I was like 50 to 60, 40% on if I should keep it or not. And eventually I decided not to delete it because I'm like, well, it is on topic. It is on topic. So I'll give it a pass, okay? And that's all I have to say about that. It came and it went, chat. Let's see how that develops. Meanwhile, in the video game industry, unfortunately, chat, unfortunately for all the bing wahooers out there, the Nintendo Switch is not coming to the United States as quickly as Nintendo had planned. The tariffs that have, I'll talk about in a second, disrupted the supply chain, and they put off the release date. So bing wahoo, not coming to a store near you. Unfortunately, all the gamers, due to Donald Trump's arrogance and poor economic policies, have deprived you of your video games. Now you have nothing to do. For some reason, this is like the Nintendo Switch is like a big meme with like PPP and Andy Worski, and I don't get it. I would not buy a Nintendo Switch 2 because, like, I don't get that much time to play video games at all. But I can't imagine what kind of game I would play. I guess Zelda? Those are like the good games, right? But I mean, is anyone in chat actually like super excited for Nintendo Switch 2? And how old are you? You have to say me and then your age. I want to know how much that is. Fuck no. Are you just saying that because the soy boy memes have gotten to you? Are you like a super big Zelda fan who would love to play the island Zelda game where you like hit things that are frozen in time, but you don't want to look like a soy boy while doing it? The memes are true though. Me 76, me 47. I see a me 18 too. Okay. All right. I just wanted to give you an update on that in case you're curious. Now, Rational Wiki is being sued by 6 plaintiffs simultaneously. If I remember correctly, Rational Wiki has been around for a long time. And it's basically a drama wiki. When I first heard about it, it was like an anti-conservator drama wiki that was popular like in the early YouTube, the Amazing Atheist Plus circles, as like it was basically like an Encyclopedia Dramatica, early internet for internet people that disagreed with them. And and for epically owning people who believed in like geocentrism. So it's been around for a while, and now there seems to be a coordinated lawsuit attack against it for defamation, in particular because of articles on the wiki, which they're probably going to lose, but it's expensive to get into a lawsuit with 6 different people at the exact same time. The issue that they're going to have, though, in their case is that if you're suing the wiki company because of the articles, the way that Wikipedia maintains protection is that the author of the information in the page is the person responsible for the defamation. So even if it is defamatory, and even if it has caused harm, you have to prove that the wiki itself is responsible and not just a publisher. Because with Wikipedia, it's been held repeatedly that individual edits are the authorship of the individual and not the wiki itself. So apparently they're having to ask for a lot of money because it is expensive to deal with a bunch of lawsuits, and they're trying to get it moved to a more anti-slap friendly state that's might swat it away faster. WikiFeet. I don't think WikiFeet has been involved in any drama. The Rational Media Wiki Foundation page, by the way, is embroiled in some controversy just because apparently they've not been forthright with this. Like, the Rational Wiki community did not know about this until someone happened to leak the documents, and then it spread around. So they've not been particularly forthright with their situation to their own audience. Am I on WikiFeet? I think so, actually. Wasn't Ralph going after them? Ralph has a Rational Wiki page, and it basically just says that he's a fat retard and like a neo-Nazi or something. Okay, this is pretty funny. This is the New York State Appellate Court watching a video submitted by a defendant who decided that to present his arguments as clearly and persuasively as possible, he would use an avatar to present it for him. Let's see how that works out.
DeWalt versus Mass Mutual is being called out of turn, and the appellant has submitted a video for his argument. Okay, we will hear that video now.
May it please the court. I come here today a humble pro se before a panel of 5 distinguished justices.
Is this, hold on. Is that counsel for the case?
I generated that.
I'm sorry?
I generated that. That is not a real person.
Okay, it would have been nice to know that when you made your application.
I like how it goes like this. If it may please the court, and then the nice Jewish lady in the middle pauses it and says, "What the fuck is this?" So apparently, right off the bat, your first line, "If it may please the court," was ineffective. I don't think it worked. I think it kind of did not. I think it had the opposite effect, actually. I think it was very displeasing to the court.
You did not tell me that, sir. I received the application. And you have appeared before this court and been able to testify verbally in the past. You have gone to my clerk's office and held verbal conversations with our staff for over 30 minutes. Okay? I don't appreciate being misled. So either you are suffering from an ailment that prevents you from being able to articulate, or you don't. You are not going to use this courtroom as a launch for your business, sir. So if you are able to
I want to hear nothing about your fucking VTuber career. You're not going to use this court to launch your fucking VTuber avatar and try to get super chats. I ain't fucking having it. The court rules that you are sentenced to be a V-tweeter forever, because this shit ain't happening here.
shut that off.
Shut it off. Get him out of here.
oral argument time, you may stand up and give it to me. You have 5 minutes.
He has to like dig around in his pocket to find the script or something. Look at her just staring at him. Oy vey. Sucks to be that guy. Yeah, I wonder why. He probably thought, with my receding hairline and the fact that I look like Chuck Schumer, I'm completely screwed. I need a handsome white man in his kitchen to win my case. Well, you know, points for trying, I guess. Update on Cock.li. Cock.li is an email service that was shut down, ran by Vincent, I think Chen, no relation. Actually, it's Canfeld. Canfeld, actually, is the name. And he goes way back. He was involved in 8chan. I've spoken to him a bunch. Pretty cool guy. Lives in Romania. Doesn't afraid of anything. Though he was afraid when the federal government was trying to fuck with his email server. He tried to solicit some representation to deal with this, and then unexpectedly brought back up Cock.li. And what he claims is that certain domains, because if you don't know, it's an email service where the gimmick is that you can use certain gimmick domains as like emails. For instance, the ones in particular is nigga.rs. Very cool domain name. Horsefucker.org, Cock.li, of course, but they had an issue with some domains that were gifted to them by a third party, in particular Hitler.rocks. And I think there was a second one that he names. I think it was nuke.africa, might have been the other one. But what he says is that the United States intelligence agencies gave him these domains to use for his email service, but they were actually spying on people that were using these emails. So, after dealing with this and preventing new registrations on those domains, he's re-enabled the Cock.li email service. So, if you use Cock.li, you should check and see if your domain has been affected. And if you're interested in novelty domains, Vincent is a good guy, and you may enjoy this. Actually, maybe it was only Hitler.rocks was the issue. I don't think Nuke Africa was compromised. Don't worry. All the people that enjoy Nuke Africa continue to enjoy Nuke Africa. It glows from over here? Nah. Vincent's okay. And then one more shitty video game update. Ubisoft shut down a multiplayer car racing game called The Crew, and they are now being sued because they shut it down so quickly that a couple customers have initiated a class action saying that people expected to be able to play this car game and they can no longer do so, so it was false advertising. In particular, you cannot even play it in single player mode because even single player was a multiplayer live service. So Ubisoft has in response submitted an argument to the court that no purchaser of the game should have had an actual expectation that they would be able to actually own a copy of the game to play on. That is their actual argument. So just know that if you're a Ubisoft enjoyer, if you play Ubisoft games, anything that you buy in regards to a Ubisoft product is actually without expectation to actually own a Ubisoft game for any length of time, even a couple months. So, bravo games industry. You really make buying games such an exciting prospect. Piracy is the answer, but you can't pirate these games because they're just licenses to go online, basically. That's all there is. Okay, true news. Chat true news. This lovely lady right here that you're looking at had an idea, had a dream, had a vision, had the gumption to go out and to say, I need to return to school. I want to go to school and get my education. So she went to this local high school and tried to enlist as a teenage girl, lying about her age so that she could get her fair shot at a high school diploma. And despite trying to enlist to high school as a teenage girl and accomplish her dreams, no child left behind, this person was sentenced to 20 days in jail. So he actually tried to get, I imagine that he tried to sign up for every PE class ever. Yeah, I want like a high school education that involves nothing but sports. As much time in the locker room as humanly possible, please. And when he got called out, they said 20 days, probably for lying on the form, and that's about it. The Albany, Oregon Police Department says on Friday, December 13th, 2024, employees at Families and Communities Together FACT contacted School Resource Officer Williams with concerns about a person registering for high school. The person appeared to be an adult but was portraying themselves as a 15-year-old girl. After further investigation, the individual gave a false name and date of birth, attempting to enroll in high school. The subject was identified as 27-year-old Michaela Craig, a registered sex offender, and subsequently arrested on the following charges: computer crimes, forgery, and false swearing. They were lodged at the Linn County Jail. There was a mandate that allows homeless youth to register for school without verifiable identification. However, prior to the youth actually attending school, there are safeguards in place to confirm identity. We want to thank FACT and the Greater Albany Public School Administrators for promptly alerting us to the suspicious circumstances and working to cooperate with the police department. Comments will be turned off because of hate speech. That's the real punchline. Sure, it's a tranny sex offender, a literal fucking tranny rapist trying to get more access to 15-year-old girls, but don't you fucking dare open your mouth and issue a hateful word against such beautiful women, such strong women just trying to get their education. Bro, you can't fix shit like this. There are people that actually supported this idea and pushed this through. Oh, we just have to put all the retards in California and like quarantine it. That's the only fix for this shit. Some more Keffals stuff. So, last time I talked about Keffals last week, I played a couple of these tranny fishing game clips, and Keffals was like, I need to get over this traumatic part of my life. Anytime I see a kiwi, I break out in hives. I can't even talk when thinking about the horrible things that happened to me. I just want to move on and make positive content for people to enjoy. So that was what he said. That's what he says. That's expectation. This is the reality. Ready?
I can't go into details right now about all of the specifics, but the reason I brought it back is because I am anticipating that there is going to be pushback for something that I'm involved in. If any of you know the trans creator Dead Domain, she is currently working on an expose of Brianna Wu, and I've contributed because I worked very closely with her and was friends with her for years.
Bro, the meaty flappers have returned. What the fuck? He's even got the third tit out. Bro, I gotta do something about these meaty flappers. I gotta report them to Twitch. I think cleavage is allowed on Twitch, even if it's meaty flappers shit. Disgusting.
And her behavior makes me sick. I don't want to get into any of the specifics, and you'll have to wait for the video to come out. But I am expecting that there's going to be, like, harassment towards me and this community for what I'm about to drop. I think the difference is this time, though, is this is not really drama, because her impact on the trans community is very real and very negative.
You know what? I just gonna do that too. I was like, yeah, what I do is in drama, it's politics. When I say TTD, TND, I'm not actually saying anything. I'm just, I'm just partaking in some acronym images, and that's it. And you can't extrapolate that further. Don't you dare. Brilliant gambit, Chip.
She has a lot of money and connections, and people need to know all of the stuff behind the scenes that I have been made aware of because I worked with her closely. And she was actually in the process of hiring me too, which I'm sure the video will get into, but I can't really reveal anything more than that.
So Keffals has returned to take the King Tranny title back from Brianna Wu. Okay, I want to hear this one too. Dude, this guy, he looks like a corpse. When I look at him, he kind of reminds me of like what are the zombies in Skyrim called? The Dragur or something? I don't know. There's something about the lighting and like his like dead expression and like the long like fake blonde hair that looks so ratty. It reminds me of the Dragur or whatever.
A trans woman who's gonna do bottom surgery promised to do something for me that I wish I could have done, that I'll never get a chance to. Cause I really wish I did it. I just need, I'm not telling you until I get a promise from a trans woman who actually wants bottom surgery in the chat. Cause like, this is something I deeply regret. You'll do it? Okay. I need you to get a silicone mold made of your erect penis so you can have it turned into a dildo. So the next time someone tells you to fuck yourself, you literally can. I regret not doing that. I really wish I did that, and I'll never have a chance to do that.
Sometimes we lay awake at night and dwell on our mistakes and how we could have done things differently. And in this empty, shattered mind of an absolutely broken person, those are the regrets. I wish I had made a mold of my cock and balls so I could fuck myself. Thanks, Keffals. Happy to have you around, bro. Andy No has an update on the Ziz family cult. Let's take a look. This is what he is doing court reporting at the various locations where the trannies have been arrested. He says, at the court hearing today on April 8th for Zizian murder suspect Alexandra Somni Letham and Suri Dow Tessa Burns, I was recognized and cursed out by an angry tranny, an angry trans supporter of the defendant, so a random person. Before that, defendant Letham was wheeled into the courtroom and had to be restrained by two deputies as he continually screamed behind a mask about alleged transphobia in the jail by the officers. Letham also screamed, "The jail has been hormonally detransitioning me for a quarter of a decade." The judge ordered him out of the main courtroom where he could still be heard screaming from an adjacent room. So this tranny is not having a good time. Unfortunately, the trans genocide is in full effect, and he is being medically detransitioned right now, chat. Really is just tragic. You hate to see it. You hate to see it, chat. Big ups to Andy No, who's reporting on this shit. Shout out to Fentard in particular. Christian is back in Finland. A user joined just to post this picture. He is in the K Market in Helsinki, Pasila, in a small convenience store near places where he's already been seen. So Chris still in Finland, banging Finnish girls, having a good time, enjoying perkele and saunas and such things that you do in Finland. There's nothing more to be said about this except suffer, Finland. All right, we're out of the news segment. Hamster, you are dismissed. Thank you, chat. Not chat. You're not chat. You're a hamster. Okay. How do I describe this? Many of you will not know what I'm talking about. There is a fat woman called Amberlyn Reed. And Amberlyn Reed is preposterously oversized. And she has had many girlfriends in her life, of which one of them was a woman named Becky. Becky is fat, and she is lovingly nicknamed as Necky on the Kiwi farms because she has no neck because she is so fat. There is a meme in lesbian communities called a U-Haul lesbian. U-Haul lesbians are so called because women, I think when they date each other, they're hyper monogamous. Like they're very quick to commit to a relationship, like a serious relationship, and move in with each other. Whereas gay men are hyper polygamous and they fuck everybody and they have the average body count of 1,000 by the time they die, and they have AIDS and they die and they pass monkeypox on to animals and stuff. So there's a difference, and it kind of relates to the qualities of men and women. So Becky, after getting dumped or dumping Amberlynn, hooks up with someone named Dakota, and Dakota and her get civil unioned together, because the appropriate name for such a harmonious relationship. And Becky has recently made a return to the spotlight because she's been talking about Amberlynn. In particular, I mentioned that there was a discussion where Becky said that Amberlynn would wipe her ass before they got together, and she would have to wipe her ass by putting a washcloth on the corner of the kitchen or the bathroom sink, and then she would do it like a dog and just rub her beehole on the cloth on the sink corner, and that's how she would get clean because she can't reach back there. So that made a lot of people laugh. It circulated around a lot. People enjoyed this, but being in the spotlight has its downsides, as a matter of fact. And for Becky, the downside was that people went and looked into Dakota. And it turned out that Dakota was up to something a little bit weird. She had posted this cuddle application on her Tumblr and asked for people to fill it out. And she received multiple responses that she had posted from young girls as young as 13, I want to say. So this is one. This is a response from Caitlin, age 14, gender fluid, from 420 Annis Lane, fake Addressville. Her favorite movies are Ghostbusters, any comedies, Hercules, and then whatever you want to watch to cuddle with. She likes singing. She hates herself. Yeah, I figured because you're gender fluid. She's a relentless cuddler, really self-conscious, and likes to sing to Disney movies. So this is a 14-year-old girl who has severe body issues and mental health issues that this 20-something-year-old woman has solicited cuddles from, despite being married, apparently. Maybe this was in the past and she wasn't married yet. Let's take a look at some of the others one. This is Megan. She also goes by Bowser, which is strange. A 13-year-old girl who likes Scott Pilgrim. And she's also not okay with a cute nickname, but she does want to build a pillow fort. Another 14-year-old girl named Lucas, who's ghost gendered. A 14-year-old named Ray or Red, who goes by boy, or girl, and likes Pokemon and also Scott Pilgrim. This is a 14-year-old pizza gender named Riley, who likes Earthbound, Scott Pilgrim. I'm seeing a trend here with Scott Pilgrim and Spirited Away. She also does not want a nickname, but wants to be in a pillow fort. Nova looks way older than 14. I don't know what they are feeding kids these days. She's not like a 14-year-old, but she identifies as a 14-year-old who's into Spirited Away also, but not Scott Pilgrim. She also does not want a cute nickname, but does... Oh, sorry, it's a reverse. It's like, do you mind if I give you a cute nickname? And the people are saying, no, I don't mind. 14-year-old agender Rachel, who likes Frozen and the Princess and the Frog, which is the interest of like an 8-year-old, an 8-year-old little girl. Drifty 15 female into Frozen. This is a 15-year-old Amy who goes by lame ass chick. That's her gender. And then this is a 15-year-old female named Margot. And this is a 14-year-old female named Nicole who has an ombre in her hair, I think is what you call those. Monty Python and Scott Pilgrim. Never let your children watch Scott Pilgrim, or they will end up in Dakota's cuddle dungeon, locked away, forced to watch Scott Pilgrim and Spirited Away on loop in the Pillow Fort dungeon. Okay. This has resulted in Becky saying that they have split up, which is probably just misdirection because it's like, oh, we broke up, so now you don't have to bother Dakota. It sounds fake as fuck. In Redditville, by the way, they banned any discussion of this. The Reddit moderators say that Dakota's not a public person, even though she's married, allegedly, to Becky, who's going online and talking about how Amberlynn washes her ass with a rag on the corner of a sink. So you're not allowed to talk about her Pillow Fort cuddle dungeon that plays Scott Pilgrim and Spirited Away. Redditors are truly a fascinating species, chat. Oh God, how do I even sum this up? This is so stupid. Froggy Fresh said that he would give like $10,000 to a charity if Anissa Joma could deadlift 275 or 260 pounds. And she did a deadlift. Now, I'm not an expert in fitness, but apparently she did a deadlift using a tool that alleviated the most difficult part of the deadlift. So Froggy Fresh said that it didn't count. And then this also made Froggy Fresh's wife or girlfriend do the deadlift herself correctly without the tool. And Anissa is coping and seething about this, basically. The cheater bar. Explain to me how this works. I can see it. I can kind of see that there are like handles that are like lateral on the bar. Does this make it easier? The bitch bar, I see. The cheater bar. It gives you more leverage. It uses different muscles. It distributes the weights more. Okay. So I understand. The cuck bar makes it a lot easier to deadlift. So Anissa did not do it correctly. And also, I remember that this video of her lifting 275 is years old. So it's not even like a recent video of her lifting this. So there is some drama in this, and she's seething about this. She says, I'm assuming that this status will be deleted shortly since the video is not following the rules of the challenge, and you won't accept the 6K challenge of using a straight bar from the ground, no platform. She can live stream it. So I don't know. This is like an A-log? I think this is Froggy Fresh. That's what I was told. But apparently she can't fucking do it. She did respond. Anissa says, cope, Lamau, pay up. And then he just says, I'm casually doing a 4x4 of 275 like from 2 years ago. And he said that I'm in the gym all the time. Platform is just to ensure proper form for back health. This was a random video film for me. If you don't think I couldn't pull 260 from the ground once, you're coping. Then just do it. Then do it, and I'll pay $5,000 to charity. And then people have said, you're such a loser at Lamau. I'm offering to pay her money for her charity, and she doesn't care about it. And I think that she still hasn't done it. I think that's the update on this. Already a nameless, faceless account and still couldn't handle the consequences of disingenuously dangling charity money. I don't understand why she doesn't just do it, unless she can't. So there you go. That's what Anissa's up to. Anissa is supposed to be championing this charity fight thing, and someone offers to give her $5,000 for this charity if she can just do a deadlift that she says she can do, and she refuses to, chat. Fascinating. She might need another cope session where she goes and gets fucked by that tattoo artist that she made items dress up like as. That's my favorite thing about Anissa, by the way. Not only does she go to this tattoo parlor with the shittiest tattoos ever all the time to get the shittiest tattoos ever tattooed on her that she doesn't even care about because it's just like off the wall fucking garbage. But she also, the guy looks exactly like how iDubbbz looks now. And it's so obvious that she's like made him cosplay as this tattoo artist so she can pretend that's like this tattoo artist when she's having sex. It is one of the saddest fucking things ever. She's truly a monument to BPD. BPD girls everywhere look up to Anissa and think, wow, I wish I could be like her. I wish I could fuck somebody's life up as bad as she has. Okay, ADF. If this stream wasn't going to be so long already, I would talk more about ADF. All you need to know is that he's an Italian potato who has been like a trans-Tifa communist from like 10 years before being a trans-Tifa communist was like a cool thing to do. And one of the trans-Tifa things, he violently assaulted a woman and has been awaiting the criminal trials, I think for a year now. He pepper sprayed somebody. He pepper sprayed like a 40-year-old woman. So now he's awaiting trial. His motion to dismiss was denied. And he's coping about, he has some complaints on Blue Sky. He says, breaking, in an exceedingly close call, Judge Brown denies the dismissal motion, allows for speedy trial and prejudice claims to be brought back up after the state's prosecution has been put on notice. Post-millennial editor Andy No, who's been targeting Isabel Arahu since before his self-exile to England 2021, went from a passing reference in who is this person to complicating the state's ability to prosecute the case. So he's saying that Andy No reporting on this weirdo tranny has somehow made justice impossible. The extra media scrutiny of his propaganda and courtroom photos by Katie Davis Court, combined with the hate and vitriol spewed by his readers towards her, have been argued by the state to put an undue burden of stress on Ms. Arahu. Bro, Oregon is so fucking retarded. We need to move all the Arabs and all the retards into Oregon so that we can just quarantine that state as well. And only the eastern half on the shore. Leave the nice mountainy parts alone and away from it. The court largely agreed but found that as a matter of law, it was short enough to warrant a full dismissal of this time. What a cope. The court's not going to dismiss the fucking assault charge because people are talking about it. As we get closer to trial or at the end of the prosecution's case at trial, the defense can re-raise these arguments once the court has seen the full context of the state's evidence. This also includes the pretrial implications of the felony domestic violence assault. She reported by police on video assaulting her partner, leaving in a 3-inch laceration that permanently disfigured them. The trial in that case in neighboring Vancouver is currently scheduled for the summer. At this point, we're anticipating 12 to 24 hours. He'll be rolling up the fan base. So, ADF got into a relationship with a violent sex pest tranny that left another tranny permanently disfigured, and then he pepper sprayed that tranny, and now it's in court. And Andy No is recording it, so he's really upset about that. Sucks to suck. I think there was an update on this. Oh yeah, this is his post on his account. He's begging for money, I think. Andy No making threats. Kiwi Farms making more threats. Local PDX Zionists want some as well. Seems like the Cold War is about to turn hot soon. Well, kids, time to fundraise for some defense items. Got to respond accordingly to multiple threats. Goal is $161. You can Cash App him at Antifa PM Office PDX. There's even a little graphics here. An escalating Cold War, and it may turn hot soon. Trantifa, I think this is Trantifa ADF right here, versus, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, a trans femme needing help with personal defense items in the face of escalating threats from Andy No, Kiwi Farms, and assorted local Zionist actors. Look, just because I'm a Zionist, I'm the most ardent defender of Israel to ever fucking exist, does not mean that we are threatening you with our mere existence. ADF, come on. Be nice. I'm not going to read all this. He's asking for, what's he spending this money on? Does he break that down? He wants 1.25-inch automatic spring-loaded baton, which is different from the collapsible batons most people use, which is $65. And a 11 or a 16-ounce MK9 can, the grenade pull pin riot can, a police-grade pepper spray or pepper gel for my main backpack. If you've never seen a picture of ADF, let me just show you, because I think that it will add a lot to this discussion. Oh, there we go. So this is ADF, and that's how he dresses in public. He's like in full riot gear with Antifa like sewn into it. So he's going to be walking around in the streets of Portland with a spring-loaded baton and a can of tear gas, like a riot tear gas grenade. And apparently this is just acceptable in Oregon, and they believe that he's actually threatened by anybody. Evil PPP? Not even close. It's not even Canadian, bro. Okay. Hector Martin, aka Asahi Lina, is in some drama. So here's what's happened. Here's my update on this. Hector Martin, who has formally disavowed the entire Linux community and stepped down as his role of maintainer in every possible project that he's involved in, was removed as a developer credit line and a code base. And he chimped out really fucking hard at this tranny that was writing his code and had edited the authorship line to not include him. And the tranny apologized and offered to add him back in, basically just removing him because apparently he said he didn't want to be involved anymore. So he's like, okay, I don't want people to contact this guy that's not maintaining the project anymore. But Hector Martin was like, oh no, you're erasing all my work. So in response, he republished all of his work under the CC0 license. Usually when you release code, you include a license from the GNU Foundation, and that is a free license that makes the software free, but it usually has some terms associated with it, such as a copyleft license. But he has decided that he's going to go for, it reserves some rights, basically, retain ownership of the code, even if you let people use it for free or remix it or do whatever they want. It's still your property in a intellectual property sense. CC0 retains no rights. You say that it's completely public domain. People can do anything they want with it. So after one person slighted him, he further descended into his spiral of retard tranny bullshit and forgoes any authorship of any of his own code. So that's how that works. Then R Linux, even the Redditors made fun of him for being a gross tranny. He says, this is Rampant Android, a fellow Arch user, saying, I'm sick of all the drama around Asahi Lina. Use social media to pressure kernel devs, argue about how much code has to change before authorship. As a death, authorship changes as people touch, refactor, and edit code. It happens, and yet somehow this is drama. She regrets joining the kernel dev community, and I suspect other kernel devs regret the drama she's brought in. I can't care too much. There's no shortage of Rust devs that are playing just fine in the Linux kernel dev. Lina was best known for her work on Asahi Linux, which is now essentially a dead project since Hector rage quit, and they were already struggling to keep up with new hardware even before that. So one Rust maintainer leaves, oh well. Solid Rain says, I'm not sure if you know this from your comment, but Lina and Hector are the same person. Chibi A says, this comment will get you banned in the Rust subreddit. And Solid Rain I thought it was common knowledge. It's not even controversial. There's a lot of evidence. The person who modeled Asahi Lina has explicitly said that it's Marcan. And the Asahi subreddit as well. Dude, that's so awesome. It's so awesome how trannies can just inflict their fucking will on these fucking cattle, and there's nothing they can do about it. They're just hopeless. They're just hopelessly enslaved to people who fucking hate them and act like deranged sex pest weirdos. And there's nothing they can do because they're like retards. Awesome. Next, we have to pay our respects, chat. One of the greats has died. The news broke out that Simply Sara, or Sara Potter, is dead. My heart is heavy as I share that my sweet Sarah has passed. She brought so much light, love, and laughter into our lives, and now heaven is brighter because she's there. I know she's up with her mama and mommy until we meet again. Yellow heart. Her account says, I asked for your prayers tonight. I think I picked up some kind of virus. I was so nauseous Saturday, even though I could barely eat anything. I went to bed at 9:30 and the vomiting began. It started at every 20 minutes I had to vomit. This went on until midnight. I don't have anything in me at all. I vomited so much. I have a bad headache, so I just took some ibuprofen. So far, I'm keeping it down with little sips of ice water. I'm so thirsty. I'm probably dehydrated, so I pray that this water keeps down. If I do, I'll be drinking lots more and pray that I get some sleep, so I'm tired and weak. Poor Jamie's been trying to help me through this and pray he doesn't get it. Also, my little cat, Prissy, hasn't left my side either. I love y'all. I'm also running a little fever now, too. And then she says, I think I'm doing better. I think I've slept on all the day resting. I'm keeping my Gatorade down really good. Poor Jamie just helped me shower. I got tired of smelling vomit in my hair. I just sat in the shower chair and he helped me. I used my new peppermint body wash too. It smells so good. I'm laying back in bed now, sipping on more Gatorade and trying to eat 2 saltine crackers. I think I'm in my min now. Keep the prayers coming. My tummy and chest is so sore from all the vomiting. I think tomorrow I'll try sipping on some chicken broth. I love you and thank you for the prayers. She died at 49. Is how old she was. So, because she's extremely morbidly obese. She had diabetes and stuff. And if you don't know, being super morbidly obese like that compromises your immune system as well. So, Sarah being dead, you might not know who she is. Well, chat. She's the author of one of the best videos ever put out on the internet. And I'm going to make you watch this. This is probably one of the videos I played the most of ever on stream. And we're going to be watching it again one more time. This is Simply Sarah's Wanda Macaroni Salad.
Welcome to Simply Sarah. Today in the show we're going to be making Wanda's macaroni salad. And it's not your traditional macaroni salad. Okay, in a bowl, we're going to dress them together first. Okay. You need 1 small can of sweetened condensed milk, now we're going to add in a cup of sugar, just the white sugar, a cup of white vinegar, and a pint of real mayonnaise. That's about 16 ounces. Don't know. Okay, we're just going to beat it and get it incorporated. Sure it's incorporated. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to actually fold in 1 pound box of elbow macaroni. It's already been cooked and drained. I cooked mine a little bit al dente, which has a little bite to it. So I don't like it to be all soft and mushy. Fold that in. And don't worry about the dressing, you'll suck up the dressing. So, okay, now we're going to put in our veggies. We've got 1 large green pepper that's been seeded and diced, 3 stalks of celery, and 1 large onion. Everything's chopped. You can chop them real fine or rough, however you want to. Everything just gets dumped in.
Time to get it incorporated. My favorite part, when she incorporates it.
Fold that in. Okay, now we're going to add in some shredded carrots. You can shred your own. You'll probably need about 4 large carrots if you're going to do your own. Or about 2 cups of already shredded carrots. About 2 cups. I'm going to salt and pepper mine. So just a little bit of salt.
This is optional. You don't have to add salt and pepper if you don't want to, chat. You can just enjoy the mayo.
That face. And this is so better as this chills and it gets cold and the noodles and the vegetables soak up all the dressing. So good.
You know,
it's sweet, but then you got that tang of vinegar, and then you get the crunchy of the vegetables. I like that.
this video is actually not as good as it used to be. This is kind of weird, but this video is very, very old. I first saw it on Encyclopedia Dramatica like over 10 years ago, easy, 15 years maybe. And when it was originally published, she had added annotations. And this is a feature that YouTube has actually deleted retroactively, so all these annotations are gone. But you used to be able to add little sticky notes at certain times for certain durations to like add information to your video after you were done publishing it. And this allowed people to make corrections after the video was uploaded. It was a very useful feature. I'm not actually sure why they got rid of it. And she annotated her video to add the calories up. And that bowl of macaroni salad is something like 7,000 calories because there's an entire pint of real mayonnaise like in it. And then you have like an entire pound of like macaroni elbows and shit. So that was a wonderful part of the experience of watching this was her annotated calorie counting, because she even counted like a whole cup of shredded carrots is 30 calories. That's after a whole cup of diced celery is 5 calories. And like that's after the 3,000 calorie tub of mayo went in. It was really just amazing. It was like, what is this calories? Who is watching this video that's making this, that's going to care about their calories? And it honestly felt like she was bragging about how many calories were in this. Like, I'm going to eat a 7,000 calorie bowl of macaroni. Really a bizarre thing. That Neil Mahan has fucking destroyed, because Neil Mahan is going to burn in Pujit hell for being the worst fucking person to ever fucking live. Okay. Little bit of drama with Elon Musk, my boy. Elon went on to Poe 2, and this has been an ongoing drama. Supposedly, Elon Musk is one of the best Path of Exile 2 hardcore players in existence. However, there's a lot of evidence that he pays some Chinese guy to play the character for him and to get him gear ready so he can brag about this, his Kekimus Maximus character. He decided that he would show that he's a real gamer by playing the game on live stream again. And the last time he did this, it was very evident that he was not very familiar with the game because he had issues with mana. And normally when you have issues with mana, you just drink a mana potion and you have no issues with mana anymore. That's how it fucking works. This is a basic, fundamental aspect to playing this game. You learn how to use mana and health potions immediately. So the fact that he was running out of mana and didn't know how to drink mana potions was very bizarre. Then he decided to stream again, and this resulted in people spamming him with whispers mid-game, which appeared on his stream. So Dogmus Maximus says, Ellen, give me a Tesla for infinite luck. Ellen is a pedophile, says you have no real friends and you will die alone. And he says this a couple times. Actually, he spells it the British way, pedophile. So Elon is a pedophile, you have no real friends and you will die alone. Then Alan Dog says, Elon, if you have made a meme coin like Trump did, what would you name it? Elon Musk is pathetic, says, you ruined the country just like you ruined all your marriages. Monster Headhunter says, imagine picking one gold dog. And then HC John Wick says, Elon, how is it possible to look this dumb and ugly? What is your Tesla company falling apart? What happened, buddy? Which sounds very Canadian. Kekimus Maximus says, we can't hear you. Please lower music. So you can see his face in the corner. He's not handling this information well. What's very suspicious about this is I have played Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile 1, and I know that there's a big issue with spammers. So I'm pretty sure it is a basic setting in the social menu to go in and turn off whispers from people that you're not friends with. I'm almost 100% certain that this is a thing because it doesn't make sense not to have that. So he's like so new to the game, he doesn't even know how to turn off like whispers from random people. It was definitely featured in Path of Exile 1, so I don't know about Path of Exile 2, but it wouldn't make sense that it's not there. How does Kick allow that as an emoji? Why is that a thing? Get this off my fucking screen. I can't even delete it. Hold up. I have to refresh the page to delete this. And then I won't delete my overlay. How does Kick just allow this? This picture of this harlot shaking her ass on my fucking screen, chat. This is a wholesome website. A wholesome stream, bro. I just want to say Kick allows prostitutes to jiggle their ass and sell pictures of jiggling their ass so that they can be spammed on other people's streams. But they don't allow me. Well, it's not even their fault. It might allow me, but I specifically am banned from making money because I'm a bad person. I'm a bad person and I'm ordained to suffer forever. This is whatever, but in the Elon Musk thing, this is Lumen, Casey Chen, or Lumen City. He has showed up at a Tesla to protest the evil Elon Musk, and he's in a dog costume next to his e-bike, holding up a sign that says, "Dogs against the Doga," the Doge. He's in public. This is how he's dressed, and this is his statement. This is the pinnacle of the First Amendment, chat. This is how it looks. Okay. Patrick S. Tomlinson bravely ventured forth into the X sphere to own the chuds. And he says this: the Dow has dropped 2,800 points in 2 days. Quoting Donald J. Trump, who says, if the Dow drops more than 1,000 points in 2 days, the president should be impeached immediately. Patrick S. Tomlinson thought that he got an epic own against Donald J. Trump. The issue is that the post he's circulating is an actual forgery, and it was never actually tweeted, so he got community noted. No, Trump didn't post that the president should be impeached and the Dow drops 1,000 points. The screenshot is fake and has been circulated for years. So, unfortunately for our boy, he has been epically owned by Elon's systems. Isn't that tragic? I should skip, actually, at this point to a different slide. Give me a second. Because I think I have a thing for... I may not, actually. Do I not have a thing for the Dow? I guess not. So... I think I was supposed to... I missed this part that I was supposed to talk about when I talked about the Nintendo Switch. But Trump instigated tariffs against like the entire world. And then like 104% tariffs on China specifically. And then he upped the tariffs on China to 125% or something crazy. And then paused all the other ones. And there is some debate in the Trump-tard community on if he's being epically based and just negotiating as Trump does. If this is like a secret sauce to success outlined in The Art of the Deal or whatever. Or if he is cucking. Has he been epically owned by his own supporters so hard that he had to renege on the tariffs? He says that the tariffs are paused to a much smaller 10% tariff while they negotiate trade deals individually, except for China, which did not reach out to negotiate a trade deal. Or did he get pwned? So we don't know, chat. We don't know. Is he winning? Is he losing? It's literally written in there. He's enriching himself. Trump likes circumcised ones, especially if you get my meeting. China was very disrespectful to him. The weight throwing failed, and his creditors told him to cuck because of bond selling that was going on. Wasn't the 90-day pause fake news? That's what he said. I don't know if it's a fake news or not. Keep starting and stopping tariffs so we can buy stocks. A lot of people suggested that it was market manipulation. So I guess we'll never know. Okay, whatever. I don't care about the stocks. I don't own stocks, and I don't care about people with 401ks because they're boomers, and I don't like the boomers. That's my take on this, chat. So last stream, I believe, I talked about Hax dying. Hax is the, once again, as I've stated, Hax is the guy that created evidence.zip, which was a j'accuse against prominent members of the... Actually, he did not create evidence.zip. He created a sequel to evidence.zip, which was an accusation against a guy called Leffen, who, as I discussed, is a bit of a fucking dickhead. And Hax has killed himself because he was banned from attending Smash tournaments. And I mentioned that I thought Leffen was a dick because he was fighting against Hax using a special controller that made the game more handicap accessible to people with issues with their hands, like arthritis. It's actually worse than that. Hax actually didn't just use a controller that was handicap accessible. He made it. He actually commissioned artists and designers and like electrical engineers to make this controller and make it as ergonomic as possible so he could create a proof of concept and actually start selling this arcade-style controller to people that had similar issues as him so they could keep playing Smash. And Leffen fought against this so that people that had arthritis in their hands could not play Smash, specifically to spite Leffen, or to spite Hax, and to stop him from selling his controller because it would make him money or something. Because it was like a $500 controller that was like bespoke, custom made for this one game. It was a fucking dickhead move. And so he's dead now. And to the surprise of everyone, he actually live streamed, or the family live streamed his funeral. And I want to show you this. So these are the people watching the funeral. The funeral processions are on the bottom, right? And then the streamers are playing Smash as he's dead. And they're attending the funeral. And I believe that there was one guy in particular, the red Adidas shirt. Okay, so Mewtwo King is M2K, and it was it was one of the things that he brought up in his evidence.zip video, where he said that Mewtwo King wore this red shirt when he beat Hax at this very important tournament, if I remember correctly. And it became a meme because in the video, they met up at Las Vegas for a tournament. And Mewtwo King showed up in his red Adidas shirt, and Hax was convinced that this was a dog whistle to remind him of the time that he lost this tournament. And it was like this subtle bullying. And then a lot of people laughed at this and was like, you're being paranoid. It's like a gang stalking red car thing. Well, now Mewtwo King has showed up at the funeral where Hax is dead in this red Adidas shirt, which is obviously very out of place and is not unintentional because you would wear a more formal suit or something to a funeral, but he showed up in the red Adidas shirt. So this is like very intentional. However, he said that Hax's family requested that he wear the red Adidas shirt, and it wasn't done out of disrespect. It was done at the request of the family, which is really, really weird. And it's made weirder because a lot of people actually suspected that Hax wasn't dead because Hax's Twitter account remained active under the suspicion that, under the statement that it was Hax's mother. But Hax's mother is like obviously really, if it was her, is really knowledgeable about the game. But everyone thought it might be just him pretending to be dead until his corpse was in a fucking casket in front of them. So there's some weird shit happening in the Hax family. Hax was like super weird and autistic. He got bullied to death by Leffen, allegedly. And then his parents apparently asked somebody to humiliate him after he died by wearing the red shirt of victory, kind of like marching under the Arc de Triomphe in Paris. And just like further grinded in that not only did I beat you at Super Smash Bros., I beat you at life, and now you're dead. Absolutely fucking bizarre. The Smash community is one of the weirdest fucking places on earth. Next. So, Karl Jobst, as I've been informed, I'll get to that in a second. Karl Jobst is still active in Discord, and he has not made a formal video about his loss to the King of Kong, Billy Mitchell. Where his life has now been ruined because he now owes Billy Mitchell something to the tune of 800,000 Australian dollars. Probably like $750,000 at least is my estimate. So he hasn't made a statement further explaining not only why he misled people about the actual defamation content that he was being sued over. He is in Discord coping about it though. He says, "Oh, the judge was ridiculous in his judgment. Judgment spelled incorrectly. You'd have to look at the previous cases with similar awards. They all have doctors' testimonies backing up any health harms, etc., or specialists confirm XYZ. Billy just said he was hurt. That's absolutely not sufficient for an award this high, and there was clear bias. He unnecessarily attacked me many times for things that had nothing to do with the complaint." He says, "There was a similar award last year, but the guy had multiple doctor testimonies with diagnosed multiple health issues due to statements, etc., and he'd been seeing doctors for years about it. It is ridiculous to just go and say you were hurt with the expert testimony and get this kind of judgment also spelled incorrectly. It has nothing to do with reality other than the judge wanted to make an example out of me, which is not a justifiable reason." Actually, that is a reason for a judge to do that. I think the issue is that usually when you want to prove damages, this is the issue. Defamation, even in other countries, is very hard to pursue because one of the things that you have to do in a defamation case is you have to prove that you were harmed by it. It's not sufficient to simply be defamed. You have to prove damages that can be awarded to you. And sometimes there are statutory damages for things like hurt feelings, or because if it's like there's certain categories of defamation where if you call somebody like a child rapist, you are owed, I think it's called per se defamation when that happens. And it's like you're owed damages just because the claim is so awful that we acknowledge that you deserve some recompense for it. Being called a murderer probably arises to that because the accusation was that Billy Mitchell's lawsuit against and a financial ruination of Apollo Legend was the main factor of his, or a contributing factor of his suicide, which every single person who knew Apollo Legend said was not the case. One thing I did not mention last time I talked about Karl Jobst, by the way, is that I mentioned that Billy Mitchell was cleared of committing any offense towards Apollo Legend that contributed to his suicide. What I forgot to mention was that Karl Jobst was friends with two people, one of which was Dark Viper AU, and I don't know who the other one is. And these two people were like drama queens who went super hard after Apollo Legend to try and cause him issues with his speedrunning stuff. And that apparently was one of the things that contributed to it. So the guys that were involved in actually tormenting Apollo Legend to the point where he decided to take his own life were direct like friends of Karl Jobst, and they tried to pin it on Billy Mitchell to try and make Billy Mitchell look bad and cause him financial harm, and that was the basis of the lawsuit. But more than just trying to cause issues for Billy Mitchell. It was proven in court, and this is where he's fucking up real bad with this analysis. He doesn't have to prove that he was mentally incapacitated or given like PTSD from the claims, because he can prove damages without showing that he suffered any kind of medical duress as a result, because he was able to provide receipts, not just in the form of financial statements, but also from direct statements from events showing that they were not going to book him for his gig, which is being the King of Kong, because of accusations that he was implicated in the suicide of Apollo Legend. And he showed that the number of bookings that he got per year fell from like 20 something to like 5. So in claiming that Billy Mitchell was involved in Apollo Legend suicide, it actually did financially impact him. And that is the basis of the damages. So he's wrong, I believe, in saying that you have to prove medical damages in order to get awarded financial recompense, because he was able to prove damages directly, direct financial damages, which is actually much stronger. If you have the option of showing that you were given, some kind of stress disorder as a result of somebody saying something, or if you have the ability to show that someone caused you $350,000 damages, you'd much rather just show the money. That's a much easier thing to rule on, which is probably what the judge ruled on the issue in the way that he did. So he's in a state of denial still, which is not good for him. However, what's also not good for him is that after this came out, people started really digging into like his past. Now, I've already played the really terrible pickup artist video, so I'm not going to torment you with that again. However, people found out that he was active on a forum called the Elite Forums, where he posted under the name Sim Threat, and he posted under his real name while doing this. And the things, to be fair though, this is from 2017, so that's like 8 years ago. Yeah, 8 years ago, which is horrific to say. So he was young. I want to say he was like in his teens when he was posting this. And he made a lot of embarrassing statements, which I'll now read. You ready? In particular, this one, he's role-playing as his own penis. He says, "Ask Karl's cock anything." He says, "Almost every day I get several micro wanks. Edges a lot while watching Jap porn. Most days a week, a full wank. Average sex is around twice a week. Lately has been slightly less because of all of Karl's energy is going into Project Become Awesome. I'm of average size. The only thing that makes me superior to most cocks is that I'm cleaned very well daily and am a pleasure to suck." That is disgusting. Oh, this is from 2001. How is this guy was posting on this forum for 16 years? And the post about his... Okay, so this is like when he was a teenager, and this is now. So this is like 8 years ago. He's like in his 20s. This is like from when he was a teenager. I was 9 years old. I was 8 years old at this date. So this... and he's been posting on this forum ever since, apparently. My step-down found porn on my computer. I have no idea how it got there, but in any case, he took the lowercase I internet away. Well, which one? Do you have extras that you can use? I have no idea when I'm getting it back. I think they are looking into getting a porn site blocker or something, even though it won't do any good because I get all my porn from download programs like iMesh and Morpheus. Oh my God, that's a throwback. So he doesn't know how the porn got there, but he does use download programs like iMesh and Morpheus to acquire porn, okay? Well, yeah, in the meantime, I'm working on writing a perfect dark FAQ walkthrough. I'm going to fucking own all the other FAQs. It's going to be over a meg probably when it's finished. So yeah, that will keep me busy for a few months or years. During this time, I will not play GoldenEye, maybe. By the way, that GoldenEye thing, he's been playing GoldenEye since the 2000s, like before 9/11. And it's his favorite game of all time. And that's why he was so overcome with emotion when he beat GoldenEye Dam for 52 seconds. Because he's been working on that since he was like a wee lad, a child, playing this one fucking piece of shit game. I remember I played a James Bond game. And the only thing I remember is that me and my friends There was one specific map we really, really liked to play. It was not GoldenEye. I think it was maybe a PlayStation game. But it was like this snowy fort. Oh my god, this is like such a vague memory. It was like a snowy fort with like 2 zip lines. And my favorite thing to do was that you had this camera-guided RPG launcher. And you could shoot this thing and then like hunt people down around the map with the RPG launcher. And it was so fucking funny because your friends would get so pissed off. Nightfire, that does sound right. I remember that. That was a good game. I remember all the snowy maps. I like snowy maps. Anyways, so I don't remember what that was on. I think it was PlayStation. Let me show you how proud I am to be yours. The odds of this chick being decent is 17,546 to 1. In any case, niggas gotta know how to close. So this was only 10 years ago. 10 years ago, he was dropping the niggas with a hard Z on this elite forum. Shocking. Decides to talk about child rape, 2013. Not good. I would never say stupid shit on an internet forum when I was a teenager. I was so mature for my age, and this guy, he's obviously not mature at all, chat. Mayan SOS SA elevator gayness. I'm having a bit of a problem with the first lift being called down when I get to it. Most of the time it's still up, the time, and being really gay. I spoke to a couple of NTSC players and they said they can get it called down every time. So I think this is a PAL problem or something. Does anyone know how to get the first lift called down consistently? I get the lift called down like 1 out of 10 tries. And I do make the lift, usually get raped like a schoolgirl on her first day of school. Any help would be appreciated or something. K-ness. So this is what he's up to. This is what he's up to. Nefarious, treacherous, disgusting chat. I cast my highest form of judgment on him for his terrible statements on this forum. NTSC versus PAL. Only true autists will know. Well, unfortunately, that's not me. Oh, there's more posts. Okay. Absolute. This is a thread for absolute legends. I'll give this 4 minutes of reading and then we'll move on. Perfect Dark. Carl's new vids online. What is this? He faked a run. The 25 vid is faked. I don't have an action replay or game start, so I used the video editing program at school to change 26 to 25 each frame at a time. Then I had to play 10 hours and get 25 speedrun that made it look like I actually got it. The tricky part was getting a 25 speedrun that matched the end screen I already made. It took me a while. So he was a cheater. When he was a teenager on this forum, he was faking runs. Oh, real. It's from 2004 as well. I'm a better guitar player than Octo Inky. I'm a better skater than Kingpin. I know more about IT than Snapdragon. I'm very homosexual, but not as homosexual as Bizishklid. I want to have sex with your dad. I was rated best in the world at everything by yours truly. I'm quite awesome. I watch Big Brother and I love it, and I want to have sex with several of the contestants. Endgamer is a gay boy who will never update POM, even though he said he will have numerous times. Okay. Apparently talks about being gay a lot. I got you. All caps, red font. Awesome. I'm being a fuck. He's a complete fuck. Everything that doesn't remind him of a fuck, and wish death upon him and his really hot sister, who he touches a lot at night and also touches himself at night. The pictures of himself touching his sister at night. Oh, to be edgy on internet forums in the 2000s shit. Couldn't be me. He is on Discord. That's where this other thing came from. This other post that I read. Okay, so right before the stream, to kind of round this off, I'm going to tempt you once again to subscribe to the locals. madattheinternet.com.locals. Wait, no, madattheinternet.locals.com. Or you can go to manny.live/dono. You have to make a Rumble. If you're having issues, you have to make a Rumble account and then use the Rumble account to sign up to locals. It's a pain in the ass. I wish it was not this way. I'm going to tempt you into signing up to locals because I promise you a review of a book review. I've not done this very often. This is Approach Her Now: How to Get Over Your Fear of Approaching Women by Karl Jobst. This is a lost media, I've been informed, but somebody said he downloaded this book years ago. Why he downloaded this book, I did not ask, but it was made available to me. I assume legally. I assume that he did this legally and that he has the permission to share this, so he gave it to me. Very kind of him. And now on Locals, maybe over the weekend, I will do a review of Approach Her Now, how to get over your fear of approaching women. Maybe we can learn something together, chat. Someone said, talk about Dark Side Phil. Well, my good friend, guess what I have slotted up next, just coincidentally. So DSP had his 43rd birthday over the last week on Sunday. And he had a little stream. And he did what he usually does on his birthday, I think. He had a little bit of some drink. And as he drank, he became a little bit emotional. A wee bit emotional, chat. Overwhelmed with emotion in the form of love for his wife. Truly very wholesome. Many people have said that this is gay, but I disagree. I think that Dark Side Phil loving his wife is wholesome big chungus 100%, chat. Let's take a look.
I'm just going to tell you this right up front. If I'm feeling like I drank too much, I'm going to stop. All right? I don't owe anything. This is not a contract that I am owing you. Like, let's say, for example, today it's my birthday and people are very generous and I raise a bunch of money. That doesn't mean I owe you 20, 30 shots and I'm going to kill myself. Sorry. It's reality here. This is not some fucking stupid jackass show where I'm going to be sitting on thumbtacks and stapling my fucking balls to my leg and drinking so much that I need to go get my stomach pumped.
You hear that, chat? No matter what PPP or Andy Worski say to Dark Side Phil, he will not staple his balls to his leg. Sorry, gay logs. This is not the clip of him crying about his wife. Next, let's skip. Maybe I hope the DSP people didn't let me down. I commit to you, I'm gonna watch every short clip of Dark Side Phil until we're at current day. What the fuck?
I just made a giant stain on my chair, no lie.
Oh my god. It's one thing to look that bad. It's another thing to say that immediately after. Once more, that's great.
I just made a giant stain on my chair, no lie.
That's so funny. Impeccable. Okay. So one of the things that he did on stream for his birthday is apparently he got a Lego Minecraft set. And for some reason, I can't fucking explain this, but there is a kidult phenomena where apparently people in their 30s and 40s are buying and you can find these at Walmart. They're like premium boxes of Legos and like these like bougie looking black boxes that are like licensed IP. And for some reason, like adults are obsessed with this shit. I knew that Amber Lynn was buying this shit for years, but apparently other people are doing it besides Amber Lynn. And he couldn't do it, apparently. It's an 8+ game Lego set, and he couldn't do it, so. Let's see. Because he really hates her. Apparently, this is Darkside Phil trying to figure out the Lego set, and it's not going well, according to Pepperjack. I mean, alcohol probably doesn't help with that. Where is the crying? Okay, so the tweet has come in. Phil has cried. I better see a clip of this. Here's 5 seconds by Negger, so this is a good chance of being good.
Who cares that Ethan Ralph lives in a shack in Mexico?
So DSP has confirmed that Ethan Ralph lives in a shack in Mexico. I care. I care a lot. I'm Ethan Ralph's only friend in the entire world. Okay, please tell me. Someone has a thing. Phil loves Kat so much he forces her to work a shitty minimum wage job at a supermarket even though she's on death's door while he continues to spend more time than her salary on WWE champions every year. She gotta earn her own wage, okay? He canceled his stream the next day because he was hungover. Is there no clip of him crying?
Who cares that Ethan Ralph lives in a shack in Mexico?
We see it once, we see it twice. Okay. Where is the crying? I may not get to see it. If Negger has not clipped this, I guess it's over. Okay. Apparently, one of the DSP detractors has given himself eye damage, so he can talk about DSP. Okay, I'm gonna round it there. That's the thing. That's what happened. He cried over Cat. Everyone laughed at him. It's based to love your wife, chat. That's how it works. That's called being trad. Unlike Tim Pool, who endorsed or talked positively about Andrew Tate, DSP remains a trad man. So Tim Pool, there's a brief thing with him. Tim Pool has done an interview with Netanyahu in the District of Columbia. And he's working on editing that, I think, before publishing it. So it's not public yet. But immediately after, suspiciously immediately after, he met the Prime Minister of Israel, the greatest country on earth. He has decided to start taking an interesting take on a news thing that has been circulating around. And I will summarize this in very broad strokes. In Texas, there is a tent for members of the team to watch a football game. A member of the opposing team comes over to the tent and sits down. Now, this is a tent specifically for these specific students who are a part of this team. A white boy comes up to the black boy who is sitting down, and he says, "Hey, man, you gotta get up. This tent is not for you." Then the black boy dares him to do something, to touch him. And he does. He does, in fact, the white boy does lay hands on the black boy to physically remove him from this tent. And the black boy responds by taking a knife that he had brought with him to school campus and stabbing the white boy in the heart, killing him. This has resulted in a spike in racial tensions. The black folks on Twitter are immediately taking the side of the black boy, saying that the story cannot be so simple as it is portrayed because black boys don't just kill people randomly. That's preposterous. White people are offended that their lives are worth so little that this can happen every day and nothing is done about it. And then Tim Pool decides that he'll put on his thinking beanie and take a hot take. And this is what he has to say. Assuming that attachments are not going to be broken, which is oh, there we go. Okay, these work. I'm confused by this story. Are we against self-defense now? If laws are passed banning weapons from a school, you cannot bring one. If someone grabs you and you use the weapon, it's murder, obviously. Tim Pool says, nope, if you bring a weapon to a weapon-free zone and someone grabs you, then the weapon is always murder. Everyone else is right. I was wrong. The moment politicians put up a sign saying no weapons, any use of a weapon in that space is murder no matter what, our right to bear arms ends where people vote. So his hot take, literally in the reports, the eyewitnesses, what happens is that the white kid puts his hand on the black kid's arm to pull him from the tent. And the black kid responds to this by murdering him in cold fucking blood. Indisputably not a threat to his life, not an imminent danger, just was pissed off that this white boy dared to try and enforce a rule. So Tim Pool has been coping and singing about this. And in fact, actually, if you give me 1 second, I'm going to pull up this this thing that this idiot fucking posted. It's really crazy how much I just despise Tim Pool now. Like, I had no opinion of him, but every time I see something that he says, I just hate him more. He's posted like 8 million times to try and cover this up because everyone's just fucking raping him in the comments and he can't deal with it. Okay, so this was the banger. This was his kill shot. He thought that if he posted this, it was over for all the conservatards giving him shit. He says, I don't care about conservative tribal outrage. So all the white people getting all honkulicious because one of their fellow white men were killed for being uppity and trying to kill a black boy. Kill shot from Tim Pool. I don't care about conservative tribal outrage. Let's read the arrest report. Austin and the suspect, who is later identified as Carmelo Anthony. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. Austin had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, and reached inside and proceeded to tell Austin, touch me and see what happens. No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and Austin proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told Austin to punch him and see what happens. A short time later, Austin grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what Blank recalled as a black knife and stabbed Austin one time in the chest and ran away. Austin began grabbing his chest and telling everyone to get help. Blank advised he did not know Anthony's name, but stated another Memorial Track member, Blank, was friends with Anthony and that he could identify Anthony. Blank described Anthony as a black male, skinny, with possibly a goatee, short, puffy hair, and wearing a Centennial High School clothing. So he went to the other team's tent wearing his team's uniform. I was then instructed to start a crime scene log. So... under no possible interpretation does this constitute murder. In fact, if anything, if they had broken out into a fist fight, it probably would have been mutual combat. If you say to somebody, touch me, and then they touch you, you basically consented to this. If someone says, I'll let you punch me one time, but then we're having a fight, you consented to having a fight. That is the law in a lot of states. It's called mutual combat. The Supreme Court has upheld that mutual combat is exonerating for battery, basically. If you agree to have a fight and you have a fight, then it's your fault for saying touch me and see what happens. He invited this and then he killed him. That's just crazy. You just can't interact with certain people. Otherwise they'll just kill you. And then their tribe will take their side. And so will Beanie Man, because he's retarded and bald. My favorite Tim Pool fact, by the way, is that he refuses to stop wearing the beanie, even though everyone knows that he's fucking bald. Because he says, this is true, he claims that the beanie is an anonymizing tool. That when he wears the beanie, he is actually unrecognizable from when he does not wear the beanie. Like, I compare this to Ken Clark's glasses. Like, it's always been a joke that Superman, when he wears his glasses, he's the news reporter, Ken Clark, and when he doesn't wear the glasses, he's Superman, and nobody can put two and two together. So the beanie is like the Superman's glasses. When he wears the beanie, he's hard-hitting investigating journalist Tim Pool, but when he doesn't wear the beanie, he's a humble family man who is unrecognizable in the mean streets of West Virginia. Look, I don't know what Superman's name is. I don't give a fuck. I don't read slop. Stop reading slop. If you know Superman's real name, that's a personal fault. That's your fault. Something that has come out of the VTuber board, by the way, is that I talked about on the All Beef stream to announce the locals community launch. I talked about this guy, and I tried to make fun of all the VTubers that he followed because he's like a super open lolicon pedophile. And I made fun of this guy called Kashimu VTuber, who has the and talks about cute and funny VTubers. He's been identified as a Spaniard by the name of Daniel Mejan Miguel. And apparently he's actually very well known in like the VTuber drama sphere because he's done talks with Harmful Opinions and does the circuit to talk about how much he likes to fuck. Sorry, not to fuck kids, not real kids, only anime kids. And associates with somebody who actually raped his 13-year-old, so 13-year-old niece. So really, really a sick person, chat. Really is a sick person. Then brief update on Ethan Klein. This is also a court thing. This is something I've not talked about before, so hopefully I can recall this correctly. He is being sued by somebody called Ryan Kavanaugh. And let me make sure I'm actually saying that correctly, because that's how I remember it. Ryan Kavanaugh. I actually got that right. So Ryan Kavanaugh and Ethan Klein, if I remember correctly, were involved in some sort of business venture involving pay-per-view sports. And at some point, Ethan Klein accused him of running a Ponzi scheme, and also accused him of airing pay-per-view footage he did not have the rights to on a stream. And this was based off of a Vanity magazine article that was later redacted. So the claims that were made, that Ethan Klein made, were originally made on this Variety. I think it's Variety, actually. They did an article about him, and they got shit wrong. So we contacted them, and they redacted and posted their redaction online in the article, saying that they were wrong about certain things. Actually, I remember the business venture that they were going to get involved in was like crowd-funded movies. So if someone pitched out a movie idea that you liked, you could chip in $1,000. And if they were trying to raise like $1 million and you gave $1,000, then you would own 0.1% of the movie. And therefore, if the movie then went on to make $100 million in box office, you would get 0.1% of $100 million as your percentage. So it was crowd-funded movie ideas. And Ethan described this as a Ponzi scheme, which has harmed the business, allegedly. And he also made statements about him streaming the pay-per-view footage without permission, which was false, and Variety retracted their statement. So then, Ethan allegedly, according to the lawsuit, went on social media with his enormous presence and encouraged people to harass Ryan Kavanaugh as this horrific pirate / Ponzi scheme owner. And this caused quantifiable damages, according to him. Ethan tried to get this dismissed using California's relatively strong anti-SLAPP statute, which is a law used in defamation cases to terminate the lawsuit very quickly unless the case was so strong that it could possibly win. So instead of having to go through the rigmarole of a whole trial for a bullshit defamation case, anti-SLAPP statutes exist to give people more breathing room in what they say and make it harder to pursue defamation cases. So he tried to invoke the anti-SLAPP law and get the case terminated immediately, but the court did not grant him that. So he actually went up to the California State Court to try and appeal that decision, and the appellate court just struck him down as well. So it is proceeding to trial. Both the appellate court and the lower court believed that Ryan Kavanaugh presented enough information to qualify for a defamation case that could possibly win. And therefore, he's not. It's not covered by the anti-SLAPP statute. And the anti-SLAPP statute is really good because if you win your anti-SLAPP, you actually get your attorney's fees. It's a fee shifting provision. So it's really good to win your case on anti-SLAPP because then you actually have some you get some justice. You get some form of justice, but not for Ethan. So even if he wins at this point, he's still bearing his own cost. He is footing. Sorry, I'm dying. He is footing the bill for his lawsuit at this point. And this is unusual because H3 has been involved in a variety of lawsuits, and some of his lawsuits, I believe, have even been used as court precedent in other fair use and free speech cases. So he's kind of gotten a big head where he's like, whatever I do on my podcast is legal, it's fair use, whatever. And that's not really the case. You can cause people harm. And, the U.S. has very strong protections against defamation type lawsuits, but it is a real tort, and it does get used, and it can be used successfully. So he better fucking watch himself. Especially, that's why I'm so strict about people doing calls to action, for anything. I don't care what it is. Never tells people to do something. That's it's just stupid. You're just inviting problems into your fucking life. No, not Ethan Ralph. Ethan Klein, the Jewish one. You might actually know him if you've never heard of Ethan before. You might actually know him because he's related to someone really famous called Klein. If you don't know who Klein is, it's this. Oh no! 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 You can't do this to me! You can't do this to me! What the fuck? Oh my god. I'm so sick of fucking YouTube, bro. Hold up. I can't not do it now. Okay, I just type in Gila on my computer. The computer is working very, very hard to try and find this. Oh my god. Yeah, you have a fucking NVMe. How are you not? Here we go. Really tragic what's happening over there in Palestine. I condemn all forms of violence in the strongest words possible. Alrighty now. Here's something that I've only recently heard about thanks to PPP, but it is... Let's see, let me find this real quick. So apparently there's a string of... Oh, am I not gonna be... Oh, I have to fucking download this as well. Apparently there's a string of what they call nuisance streamers now, and these are guys who go to foreign countries, walk around with their fucking bullshit camera, and they record themselves with text-to-speech on, and all this fucking bullshit, and it's just annoying and disgusting, and you hate these people because they're insufferable. But they make a fuck ton of money doing it thanks to retards, so they just keep doing it. That is the world that we live in. It's unfortunate, but that's reality. And one of these guys is known as Vitali. It's either Vitali or Vitally. And I want to say Vitali when I read it, but it's also spelled identically to Vitally. He's a white guy, and he went to the Philippines. And from my understanding, what he did is he ran over a woman's foot in like a moped or something and broke her foot. And then he was very disrespectful to the Filipinos. He talked about how, he was just disrespectful to them. This is a really, really bad idea. And apparently he's done this in other countries as well, where he did his nuisance streams. So what happened is he got arrested. And now usually when someone commits a minor offense in a foreign country, they're simply deported or fined or something. It's unusual when a country goes out of their way to try and prosecute an American citizen, especially like in a country like the Philippines, because the justice system in the Philippines is very corrupt. Prosecutors will take pay to enforce laws, and they take pay for other things, which I'll explain in a second. So, Vitali went to, or Vitali went to, or got arrested by the federal police, who are very imposing, by the way. They will shake you down. They wear a very black uniform. It's best to just avoid them if you're in the Philippines. If you see the federal police, you'll notice that other people go out of their way to avoid them as well. That's because you don't want them to suddenly find marijuana on you. Marijuana has like a 20-year sentence in the Philippines. They will be asking you for a fine if they happen to find marijuana on you that you didn't even know that you had. So it's a really good idea to stay the fuck away from them and not cause problems when you're in a foreign country. That is my advice to everybody. If you go to a foreign country, do not cause problems. Do not fuck with the women. Do not talk politics. These are all very, very bad ideas. You do not want to get into trouble in a place that you don't understand, because your life will become a nightmare that you can't even fucking you can't comprehend your own situation because you're so unfamiliar with the culture. This is the consequences of, or this is the situation that Vitali finds themselves in, or Vitality. The Philippines is very corrupt. If you think that the Philippines is not corrupt, you should live there. It's a place, okay? So he disrespects the country, and they arrest him, and there is some argument if he should be under house arrest or if he should have access to a phone, and the judge rules and says, no, he's going to jail. He's going to Filipino jail. Let me just find a picture real quick. This is not a joke. This is like Filipino jail. Let's just see if I can find a picture real quick. Oh my God. Oh yeah, this is it. This is what I want to show you guys. So, the best way I could describe this is hell on earth. It's kind of like a pound where you just have like concrete slabs and cages and people just packed in, and there is a hierarchy, and it's very gang involved and very corrupt. Certain people get very preferential treatment. Certain people get very unpreferential treatment, both by the guards and by the inmates. They're all Filipino, by the way. You might notice that they're all Filipino, and they may believe that the Filipinos are the strongest race on earth. So if you're in their jail as a tall white boy who got into trouble for hurting a Filipino woman and for disrespecting the country of the Philippines, and now you're in this, you may be in for a very bad time, a really, really bad time. And this is just waiting for his trial. So what he was actually ordered was that he's going to spend time in a common cell with no cell phone, awaiting pre-trial conferences. The next pre-trial conference for him, awaiting trial, is now scheduled 3 years from now. The Filipino justice system is horrifically slow. It is a very, very, very slow process. So he'll be waiting in jail. He is supposedly facing up to 20 years in jail, and he is not even scheduled for trial yet, but his next hearing is in 3 years from now. So in the Philippines, and this is true, if you are in this situation, usually what you do is you bribe the judge to docket your case faster. It kind of like how there was, I don't know if this is real or if this is just a myth, but they used to say that you would bribe the executioner back in the medieval ages to sharpen his axe for you. So if you were slated to die by being decapitated, you would have to pay your executioner to make sure that he did it in one swing, ideally. So, and this is a similar situation. He's fucked, but he could be less fucked if he bribed the judge. The issue with him, though, is that white boy needs to be made a lesson of, so the judge may not even be amenable to a bribe. And if you tried to bribe him when he so obviously fucking hates you, you might suddenly find yourself on the hook for bribery charges as well, which is one of those fun things in corrupt countries where everybody's corrupt until you are pissing off the wrong people, and then suddenly your corruption is a crime. So he's literally in the worst possible position you could ever possibly find yourself in, basically. You really don't want to be trapped in the Philippines, okay? So there you go. I've never heard of this guy before, but I will use him as a chance to reiterate to everybody listening. If you go to a foreign country, which I highly recommend, it's very fun to travel. You see all sorts of crazy stuff. You have a good time. Stay away from the women. Stay away from politics. And don't disrespect the country or the culture, because people don't like that. And that's your lesson, chat. I don't usually talk about this guy because he's like a TikTok lolcow, but apparently the WorldOfTShirts guy called Joshua Block, who's like a severe alcoholic, but millions of normies watch him on TikTok destroy his own life. Apparently he was a virgin. I find this really hard to believe, but someone has popped that cherry of his, and he's happy about it. And the video is going to preload and immediately. Oh my God. You can't do this to me, chat. It's a 13-second long clip. It was with I didn't even realize at first. It's like a Latinx. You got that cherry popped with an Instagram. Why is it like this? Let me try changing my network. This might actually destroy my entire stream, chat. But you know what? My internet's so fucking slow. I'm willing to try this. Okay, I think it's whoa. Yeah, that's it. Oh, dude. I hate computers to a level you can't even fucking comprehend. Like, Restream just completely shit the fucking bed as soon as I reconnected. And I think the Rumble stream is just dead. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna redirect the Rumble people over. Wait, does this work now on the live? I see live on the Rumble thing. Okay, it is live. Okay, I fixed it. Don't worry. I fixed it. Exclamation points. Okay, then I'll let people know. I fixed it. Now, since that just happened, let's give people a second to pour back in the audience of millions that I have. And I'll excuse myself for a minute. And in that time, I will play some entertainment for the audience chat. You ready?
死んだは初めて俺に伝えている。絶望の匂いだ。面白いこと見せようか。ほら、こんなにガチンが多すぎて。お父さん。あかん。ドナルド君、まだ死ぬ時じゃないでしょ。アメリカ、万歳。ファイト。絶対負けないよ。何度違いどで。ゼロ。だってまだサンキュー言ってないでしょ。一回も言ってください。おい、仲良くして。この世界、傷つく。いけるかな。昔グレートだった。大きに、またグレートになるかな。あのさ、有名人なら誰かのマンコを使っていいさ。そう。見放せるで。
All right, so now here's the real kicker. I murdered my entire fucking stream. Now let's see if I can finally see a picture of WorldOfTShirts with some random Mexican, okay? Is this in the cards? Is this going to be happening? See, the Kiwi Farms is loaded, but various attachments are not still. Okay. That's really cool. I like it when shit's just permanently fucked for no fucking reason. The issue has to be with the DNS server. There has to be one that's just down or something. And it's like, I'm gonna re-control F5. The fact that it's just the attachments and not like the rest of the site, I know what it is. It's the uploads or no cookie URL is using a bad server that is down, and as a result I can't download any attachments. Okay. So Rekieta is scheduled to have a sentencing hearing on next Friday, the 18th. I'm not sure what the broadcast rules are for that. I don't want to be Ethan Ralph, so we'll see if I can talk about that live. If not, we'll wait for the verdict, which is very interesting because once Rekieta is found guilty, then his presumption of innocence, which protects certain things of evidence from being released to the public, is over. And I think I'm so dedicated to this that I will sue Minnesota if they do not oblige me with the body cam footage after this. Because there's once he is guilty, there is no rule that explains why the body cam footage should be withheld from the public. So I will do everything possible, everything that my attorney is willing to do for basically nothing. I'll allow him to pursue whatever he wants, which may involve suing Minnesota for the footage. The issue has been is that they don't release it before the person is found guilty or before it's entered into evidence. So if the state entered it into evidence, then it would be public. And if he's not guilty, they won't release it in order to not harm his defense from the public, basically, so that jury selection is easier. But once he's guilty, or if it had gone to trial, if it was entered in evidence, we'd get it. So we're going to try again. And we'll also know exactly what the consequences are for giving a child cocaine, basically. Well, probably not much. In the meantime, Rekieta is having more issues, allegedly. So a while ago, and this has been going on for so long, I feel I need to recap. Nick Rekieta got into a white trash argument with somebody named Aaron Imholt. And one of the things that Aaron accused Rekieta of doing while they were doing drugs and having sex is he stole his laptop and gained access to his Gmail account to spy on him. And when this accusation first happened, I raised an eyebrow at this, and I said, that's a felony. If you access something on a computer that you're not supposed to, even if it's unprotected, even if there's no password whatsoever and it's just sitting there in front of you, if you access any computer remotely or directly without permission, and you know that you're not supposed to have access to it, basically, you've committed a hacking offense. That's our federal definition for hacking on the Computer Fraud Abuse Act or whatever. So my first thought when I heard that he had access his Gmail account through his computer without permission was that he's committed a felony, and you might actually want to report that to the FBI. Well, many months later, supposedly, according to Aaron, who is not necessarily the most reliable narrator in the world, but who for the most part is batting pretty close to 100, he says that the FBI is investigating Nick Rekieta for a Computer Fraud and Abuse Act violation for accessing his email account. And there is some evidence that, in particular, accessing certain, because I think he maintained access even after they stopped being friends. And Nick supposedly used his access on the Gmail account to read confidential attorney privilege letters, which is a serious ethical issue. And that could cost him his legal license moving forward if he ever wanted to practice law again. One of the points of evidence that have just come out, thanks to Alyssa Clips, is that Alyssa sent Aaron Imholt an email. And shortly after she sent Aaron this email, she got a message from Rekieta saying, "Oh, Alyssa, so butthurt you sent our DMs to Aaron to hurt me. Why don't you send him your nudes like you did to the guys in my Discord? Make sure you take his money." So that was his message. And it kind of evidence what Aaron is saying, that there might be a federal investigation into Rekieta for computer abuse issues, which just compounds his already shitty situation. So, especially if he accessed any kind of attorney-client privileged information of a opposing counsel, like that's a big fucking problem. So, that's a little update on Nick Rekieta. Now, on the other Nick, so Kanye West has released, I believe, like a Heil-Hitler song. Yeah, this is Heil-Hitler is the name of it. So, and America First is, of course, promoting this. So let's see here, Heil-Hitler. Okay, so that's the song. Yeah, that's weird. I believe that he has endured brain damage because what the fuck? It's so weird to me how the America First people can rationalize this. Because I don't know what their gambit is. Like, supposedly it's like raising the JQ to normies and normie blacks, but when you hear somebody really stupid saying something, you're inclined not to believe it. Like, the reason why they kept pushing the Westboro Baptist Church in front of everybody in the 2000s was that their hatred was so all-consuming, so vitriolic, so unintelligent, and so unpersuasive that it made you not trust Christianity. It made you not want to be against gay marriage, because it's like, look at these gross hicks. Look at how fucking disgusting they are. And they're against gay marriage. So if you're against gay marriage, you're like these fucking gross hicks out in fucking Oklahoma. And nobody wanted to be that. So it was very damaging to, traditional marriage supporters at the time to be in the same league as these extremely prominent activists like the Westboro Baptist Church. So if you're trying to make discussion about Jewish influence in media and government a prominent topic of discussion, you want the people who are discussing this to be respectable. And Kanye West is literally like fucking brain damage. And this does not in any way actually promote your cause. The only thing I can think of is that Kanye West is giving Nick Fuentes money. And he needs to keep that gravy train going as far as it can go. But it's really embarrassing. And then immediately after Nick Fuentes promotes this song and promotes his relationship with Kanye West, Kanye West had another SPAC attack on Twitter and started talking about black.com, which is an interracial cuckolding fetish site. So, you're supposed to be this Catholic nationalist trying to raise the JQ to public heights, and also supporting white people, I guess, ? And you're doing this off the back of a literal brain damage black man who's into interracial cuckoldry. By the way, there's a song. Can I find this? Yeah, Black Skinhead by Kanye West. This is an old song. This is from 2013. One of my favorite Kanye West songs, to be quite honest. But there is a lyric in this. Can I find this? Brown, 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 bam, ba, ba, da, ba, 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 bam. Where is? I find. Oh, they don't have the lyrics. Okay, hold up. Let me find the Genius page for it. It used to be Black Skinhead spelled one word with 3 Ks, and they've changed that, I think. Okay, band. Fuck. Oh, okay, now there's lyrics. It's not. Sorry, I'm not gonna. Oh, here we go. Here it is. They see a black man with a white woman at the top floor. They've gone come to kill King Kong. Kanye West has been obsessed with interracial, white women for a very long time. What? I didn't do anything. Oh, shit, my internet did go down. Sorry, chat. That was my internet. That doesn't usually happen anymore. Let me go check my Starlink real quick. Listen, the issue with the Starlink before was that it was, it had a physical hardware issue. And then I completely RMA'd it. And now it should not be having any fucking issues. Okay. Let me just check it real quick and then I'll continue. I'm sorry, I know. Today's a real fucking off day. I can't catch a break. So, dashboard. No, I'm not seeing anything. Okay, it looks like it's fine now. I just assumed that a big poofy cloud went in front of my thing. Yeah, that was the only ping drop in a fucking. Oh my god, fucking. So I don't know. That's like one of his obsessions. I played the song Black Skinhead. There's another song. I think even in Gold Digger, he's talking about fucking white women. I don't know. I just don't get the fascination. It's just like they're starstruck. They're like little boys and they're starstruck by Kanye West. So they're gonna have to support him. And he says based things, so they're gonna have to support him forever and ever, chat. If you're in the US, you're just holding back. Bro, I'm in the middle of a fucking swamp. The only other internet available to me is DSL. And I'm not talking like good DSL. I'm talking about old internet shit. So I don't know, if I move again. Here's the issue. Let me explain the issue again with my internet. When I move back to the US, I have 10 plus years of no work history, no credit history. I don't want to give them my real name. And so the only people that I could find willing to rent to me were like trailers in the middle of fucking nowhere where I had to set up my Starlink again. So if I'm going to move, I'm going to have to find another rental that I can rent by not disclosing any information about myself and just having them accept cash up front, basically. That's it. Those are my options. So it's a huge pain in the ass anyways. Anyways, so next, Dick Masterson is married. I will spare you this clip. I've watched it. It's 14 minutes long. It's not very fucking funny. I made a prediction that Marie, his girlfriend, 80s girl, was going to blow his fucking brains out this year, but they've gotten married and she's pregnant. So I feel like I should have made my prediction a little bit more open-ended. She was either going to blow his brains out or she was going to force him to get married. And he decided he did not want to die, so they got married together. How she got pregnant at 40 is she might be doing IVF. I've been trying for a while. It's hard to say, but he invited Vito to his wedding, and Vito, like, there was supposed to be weird party things that they could do, like he ordered like a custom paint by numbers thing so they could paint in a picture. It's like a paint by numbers custom to their wedding picture. So they mailed in a picture and then got this paint by numbers thing that people were supposed to work on to like paint in Dick Masterson with his wife, and they were supposed to keep that as like a cute wedding memento, but Vito used black paint and gave him blackface. So the wedding present that they put together was instead ruined by Vito Gesualdi, who made him black. And I have nothing more to say about this. I will take this precise moment to share this clip by Silly Poo, who is a former Dick Show like artist, and has made this, which I find very relevant. And it's not going to load up. So, luckily, there's a Xeet with the original thing.
What's the deal with women? When I do stand-up, I don't talk about my vagina. I say, I'm a pedophile. I hate women.
Truly, one of the most femcel artists of our time. Just this is the same artist, by the way, who, if you don't know, made the really, really awesome Cyber Girls music video. That's one of the best things ever. That's a fucking awesome video. It's one of my favorite things made recently. Speaking of Vito is promising yet again that the comics will be delivered this month, in the next 30 days. People have asked for refunds. Vito is denying them any refunds. Sorry, no refunds. I have to buy child sex dolls or something. I don't know what he does with the money. But he's saying this is really it. For real, no cap. Superboy or whatever is coming out soon. Austin is in rehab. He got on his phone and did some Discord live streams. And he also did some Discord gambling, betting $20 and playing penny slots and stuff. Unfortunately, rats narked on him at the facility that he's at. So they took his phone again, and he's no longer allowed to stream, which sucks. I don't know why the fuck you would do that. That's like ruining the fucking content, but, you know, people are retarded. Oh my my god. JF Garyepi went on like a true crime boomer lady podcast to defend himself for reasons unknown to me. I assume that what's going on with this is that he's just very, very happy to like dupe people. He's got that duper's delight. So he goes on there and he just makes up new shit. I will play a couple clips of it. No, wait. No, I won't. Bro, I'm so fucking jaded over this shit. What? Can I find the fucking IP? I'm gonna figure out what's going on with this, and I'm gonna fix it live on the fucking air because I'm pissed off now. I've had it. I'm mad as hell. I've had it up to here. Okay, NS binding. What is the fucking IP address that you're connecting me through that's not fucking working? What? I don't understand. What's the point of debug tools that won't even tell me the fucking IP address? Remote IP. Unknown. Okay, I see it. It's that IP. Okay, hold up. I'm going to fix this. I'm going to play some... While you guys are... Actually, I can't... Dude, I'm so tilted. Because there was like a funny video that I could play, but it's either going to be on YouTube, which I can't play, or it's going to be on the Kiwi Farms, which I also can't play. Oh, I can play it. Okay, hold up. I found it. It does let me play because nobody cares to watch this video, so it's like, who cares? Okay, great, awesome. Here, another intermission. I know you guys love these. Bam.
Yeah, man. Listen closely now. Feel the rhythm flow. It's not even need a captain's log, no. Cause this be dead serious, yeah. A few months ago, me take a tour. Inside and outside me, I know everybody on the internet. I watch me start my mother and my father, them vex with me. Oh no, oh no. They blaming me, they blame upon me, oh yeah. It's me fault, me admit it. Me say, yeah man, me know it's my fault. Me say, I want everything about me I done. Take it down, me tell you. After when me send detectives, police, all the force me got, just take it off the internet, me beg you stop. Listen to me now. Shut it off, me not care what you do, just get the things them off the web tonight. Me say, do you realize the health department come, the house get condemned. We have to move on to them, see what you post on the net. So take it down fast, yeah. Me I work on it, me make a YouTube video telling them how to take the pics them off on the net now start. But it's out of my control, me say out of my control, me now know where to go. Take them off, now you put them on. You for unload them, me say go do it, me starting. Working, me tell you man, let me make that video for everybody know. Help me get everything off the web, yeah. Listen to me now, I did call my house. All the health department, are true, me say. You done put the knife in our back, now take it out quick, take it out fast. Alright now, let me tell you. The things that on the web, yeah. We're working on it. So yeah, please take it off the internet. No. Peace to the people, curse the trolls.
Oh. Have I run out of time to stall chat?
This ain't the time for no.
Why are there like 1,000 different renditions of the song? Okay, let me see if this is also fucked. Accept the risk and continue. They all work. It's just the fucking... Okay, I understand. You know what? We might just be fucked then. Last chance to impress me, computer. No, just not happening, chat. I'm just ordained to suffer forever, chat. Why do these work?
Leave the second part out.
Why do these work? Is it only just these two? Okay, I will try this. If this doesn't work, I guess I'm just going to jump off a cliff. No, it was only the first half second, of course. Okay. I will sum this up with the best of my ability, chat. We will not have any videos, unfortunately. So, the issue... Here's what Ralph's been up to. Ralph, first of all, burned his bridge with Milo Yiannopoulos again. He's done this like 4 times. I don't know if it's kayfabe. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He has like no friends left. He chased off Perspicacity, who's like the biggest fucking loser faggot that has ever lived. He chased off Milo Yiannopoulos. He chased off Dick Masterson. He checked off Nick Rekieta. He is completely alone at this point in time. And he streams to like less than 200 people on a good day at this point. So he's like in the absolute fucking pits in terms of his presence online. And he just can't stop being such a fucking dickhead. Nobody can tolerate him. So he's just like seethes about people on Twitter now. He says, I certainly didn't claim Laura Loomer was banned from the White House a couple months before she had the NSA director and multiple members of the National Security Council fired. This is after she had a personal one-on-one meeting with Trump in the Oval Office. By the way, I'd call. Mount says, I look forward to your apology as always, as has been the case for a decade. Ralph says, Trump himself said it happened directly to the press gaggle. So he published this. I met Milo recently and he was definitely on something, probably cocaine, erratic behavior, and tweaking with that tranny girl. It's funny because he would criticize your drug use when it was obvious he's actively using. He's 40 years old, living at Dove Charney's house, the 19-year-old former transvestite, likely with no income sources besides X. It's grim. As opposed to living off minor fucking donations to Rumble. Then he also fell for this. Look at this. Look at this face. Look at this face that he's making about a figment of his imagination. This is a guy who reviews trucks, and Ralph, because when he streams, he has no content. He just yells at the gun chat on the Kiwi Farms. So while he was streaming, someone posted this picture of this guy who reviews cars on his YouTube channel. He has like 1 million possible. Like 1 million subscribers, and someone says he looks like me. So he took a picture of this and posted it in the gun chat. Ralph immediately takes the fucking bait and goes on like a 3-day tirade about how this is a leaked picture of me and I've gained weight. And it's like, why am I driving around in an old beat up pickup truck with a dash camera live streaming myself, doing a fucking Chevrolet review? Like, why would Ralph even possibly believe, besides just being like desperate, like absolutely fucking desperate, that you get some kind of fucking O on me? So, he's really, like, he just fell for this, like, the most lazy, retarded shit. It's like a fan of the Kiwi Farms, of me, who posted this because he thought it was funny. Ralph immediately outs the fact that he just lurks the Kiwi Farms chat all the time when he's streaming and posts this on the fucking site. And like just immediately falls for it. The most gullible man to ever fucking live. This is what happens when your brain is melted. When you've just like drank yourself out of like 20 IQ points. And now you have like 0 inhibition. You have 0 ability to... He gets one-shotted by fake shit like boomers. He would probably see like a bird with like a giant cock and balls that was AI generated and just be like, why does that bird have such huge cock and testicles? What kind of bird is this with the massive dong and the big ass testes? Chat. It's just his alcoholism has like progressed his mental age by like 40 years now. Oh, here it is. It's the Zach Pradle from Shooting Cars. Apparently, he's got like 200,000 reviews, basically. And that is Bossman again. I think there was something else I want to talk about. I don't think any of this is too interesting.
I have to leave the second part out. Some things I can say in private, certain things I can't say in public.
I want to hear about this email that he got from Harry Morris, but I don't think that's going to happen. Let's see if I can download from a different browser. That might have like a different DNS cache that has like a better... Ooh, that is working. He's really, really upset, by the way, that people cover like his baby mama drama as if... I'm old enough to remember that when he first got with Faith, she really desperately did not want to be on camera. Like, she would cover her mouth. She would act really shy and bashful when she was on camera because she did not at all want to be recorded and broadcast to the internet because she was like a traumatized retard teenager. And Ralph kept putting her on camera and she would just look so fucking awkward and unhappy. And then he got publicly into a fight with Mr. Vickers. He got publicly into a fight with Mrs. Vickers and then claimed that he fucked her. And now is like in litigation with them. It's just like, how can you say that you don't want your shit to be public if you talk about it constantly and you make every possible conceivable effort to make it public? Then he gets mad at me. And he can't hide his true feelings anymore, chat. While I'm waiting for this to download, why does Ralph love me? Why? I want your opinions. What is it about my persona, my identity, that enraptures Ralph and causes him to love me the way he does? He's gay for my ass. I hope not. I don't think I am the E-Daddy. I'm not cool enough. I don't make enough money. I don't get 10,000 viewers. What's funny is I've seen people who are like, I can't watch Null anymore because he's a feminist. Well, I'll never be cool, chat. My takes are too hot for some people. For most people. There are very few people that fit that niche of internet drama, racist, feminist. Using the term ironically, a man cannot be a feminist yet. I'm simply so traditional that I apply traditional roles to men also, which is feminist now, apparently. Okay, let's see. We'll watch this video. It's a couple of minutes long. Then we'll do the Reddit segment.
I have to leave the second part out. Some things I can say in private, certain things I can't say in public. But that was Harry Morris having an interaction with me live on air, in case you didn't know. Because what else is he gonna do, really? Like, I mean, I've never seen him work. That's the whole thing. Like, I've never actually seen this fat fuck work a single second in my life. And I'll just say, you know, it's gonna happen. There's nothing you can do to stop it, and it's gonna happen legally. So, and that's a promise that I'm making to God and to that person. And to my son, even though he's not directly related to
my son, Zan.
So you can't stop that. You can delay that. But that's about it. And I have my own counselors on the case, etc. And there are reasons why things haven't progressed. You know, I follow the advice of my lawyers. Because I've found out the hard way that you should always follow the advice of your lawyers.
Clouded Trigger sent $2 on Rumble. This fat idiot doesn't even understand repentance and remorse for sins. I'm hoping to get catechized into the Orthodox Church soon, so I won't say what is probably going to happen to him when he passes.
Well, I mean, he's an evil person who thinks that this is some sort of game. Well, I can tell you what I know about the state laws where he resides, and I know for a fact.
I'm playing it at 1.5 speed.
What I told him in private.
If I played it at 1 speed, he would sound.
No, will come to pass in public.
He's got that psychomotor retardation like Queen Keffals.
Because you have to be. You could even be an axe murderer and it would still happen. That's the thing. So it may take some time. It may be another couple years. Who knows? But I do know that it will happen. So
Clouded Trigger sent $2 on Rumble. Vickers needs to repent.
You know, that wasn't even Vickers. Although he needs to repent too. No, that was Harry Morris, who I'm freely allowed to speak on, by the way. Especially since he's contacting me. But I can speak on him regardless. No, that was Harry Morris. Who thinks he's won something. I don't really know why. When there's plenty of things I could initiate on my own. But like I said, I listen to the advice of my attorneys.
It's just going to be his life now. He's going to be perpetually involved in litigation against Harry Morris over the dumbest bullshit ever. And he's just going to waste the few years that he has left before he dies of liver failure, engaged in this fucking nonsense forever and ever. By the way, the Spectre report overlay is so fucking retarded. I don't know who the fuck put this together, but it's such trash.
But what's done in the dark will come to the light, and yeah, it does. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Yeah, it's a tough thing to go through. I wouldn't wish it on too many people. Him, I would wish it on. And it's a funny thing. You know, this whole Ralph occurs thing has become a meme, but it's a funny thing.
My liver to Ralph.
What a lot of times ends up happening to people who take this sort of stance against me, and it's not anything. It is almost otherworldly, really, and I wouldn't play around with it, but he seems to want to, and he thinks it's funny, and that's okay. Because I have a feeling I'm gonna get the last laugh.
Clouded Trigger sent $2 on Rumble. I don't think repentance will save Morris. It's in God's hands.
Yeah, I think people don't understand that he's much more evil than Vickers, and that's hard to say. But he has a better PR operation, though.
Oh, he's complaining about Amanda's debt. I thought he was talking about Mr. Vickers. So he's still... I thought like he completely cut off all of the Morris family because he doesn't give a shit about the little girl he named after his own mother. Like, he obviously could not give less of a fuck about Rosie if he tried to appear to give less of a fuck. So I'm surprised he's still even talking to Harry Morris. Like, what's the point? What are you fighting for? You don't even give a shit.
I'll give him that. He has a better PR operation, but he's much more evil. But I think I probably said enough about it. Also, still 0 Super Bowls. I'll say that for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh my God, who gives a fuck? Imagine giving a fuck about Super Bowls.
But I don't know. It's just silly to play around like that. But you know, people do that, and they think it's cool, and then I don't have to do anything. Just bad things tend to happen to people who do shit like that. Bad things have happened to me when I've done wrong, for sure. But this is wrong on another level, in my opinion. So, I think it'll be handled, actually. And so, you know, yeah, I'm not always the most put together person. That's true. And that date did mess with me a little bit, no doubt. That's what they wanted, by the way. But
no, he named Rosie after his mother, Roseanne. But he immediately started nicknaming her Cozy Rosie. So the nickname was 100% like a homage to Nick Fuentes. He like named her after. That's probably why. There's another reason why he doesn't ever want to have anything to do with his daughter, because he named her after, or nicknamed her after, the website that he's no longer on. Kind of like how Mark Zuckerberg offered, because he's married to an Asian woman, he offered to let Xi Jinping name his like firstborn daughter. And or offered to name the I think he even did. He offered to let Xi name his daughter, and then named her after Xi's mother anyways. And this was his attempt to get Facebook into the Chinese market, and China said absolutely fucking not.
Tomorrow. So I'm not going anywhere. And again, I'm very well familiar.
Wait, her name is Sandra. Is her middle name Roseanne? Did he seriously just name the fucking baby after? I think it's Sandra Roseanne Ralph or something. There's no fucking way he actually named the baby after Cozy. There's no way. That's not possible. There's no way I would have forgotten that.
Possible to lose the rights that I speak of, so it'll be handled in due time, in due course.
God, no wonder why he doesn't want to see her. He named his daughter, his child, after Nick Fuentes' shitty website that Nick Fuentes doesn't even fucking use.
Oh, and I can say whatever I want in private, by the way, just to be clear, in case he's wondering. So, well, I mean, minus, threats or anything like that, which I didn't make any, but it's just, let's see. What is this about? I don't even know what this is.
You're supposed to tell me,
Like,
Ralph.
Not any. What this is? I just got tagged on this. I have no idea.
The only thing I hate.
Okay, I give up. He's got his black man ball hat on. He's just fucking rotting in his shed. Rotting and decaying in his fucking shed, whining about his multiple baby mama dadas and shit. Disgusting. Reddit segment chat. Let's do this. All right. This is an R Advice for Teens by Careless Warning 862 saying, basically, my dad is disgusting and I don't know what to do. My parents are both on Reddit, so I hope they don't find this post, but I really need help. I, 18F, have two sisters, 21 and 12. My parents haven't always had a great relationship, especially not in the last 8 to 10 years or so. A year or two ago, my mom caught my dad playing interactive, inappropriate porn games. She knew he watched inappropriate content, but dealt with it, and then she caught him playing those games. He watched porn, but then she caught him playing games. Okay, I understand. She expressed to him how uncomfortable it made her, and he said he would stop, and that was that. 2 days ago, she borrowed an external hard drive from him. He had forgotten that there was a save on it from an interactive, inappropriate game from 6 months ago. So after he said he would stop, she looked into what the game was, and the description is vile. From shit and piss pet play to non-consensual rape. She is disgusted that not only did he lie and hide it, but also how truly nasty this game is. She confronted him today, and she explained that she wanted to separate their finances because her money has been helping pay for these games, and she isn't okay with that. They fought and fought. He showed her his recently played history on Steam. It somehow gets worse. She sees even more of these interactive, inappropriate games that he's played just within the last month. One of them is a game about kidnapping, stalking, and impregnating women. 2 of the women you can do this to are the main character's own mother and sister. This is where me and the older sister come in. I had this horrible nightmare a few months ago where I was woken up by my father and he rapes me. Wow. When I woke up, it felt so real. I played it off as some insane nightmare and was like, there's no way that actually happened. After finding out that he was playing this game about kidnapping and impregnating another game with non-consensual content, I started feeling even more insane, like maybe it actually did happen. So I called my sister. I explained to her the games he's been playing and the nightmares I had, and she told me that she had the same nightmare, but explained it was really just a disgusting nightmare. But the fact that she had one too is concerning to me. I don't even know what to do. I don't know what to do about the game he plays and fights with my mom. I don't know how to do this about the nightmares and that maybe they weren't nightmares. Now, you might think, Josh, this is a really dark thing to read for the Reddit segment, which is supposed to be our moment of zen, a little bit to take the edge off. But that is not the content, chat. The content I offer you for our Reddit segment are the replies. Let us continue. Hot Bonus 560 says, has your dad been a good dad outside of his issues with your mom? I'm not dismissing your feelings, but grape fantasies and even incest fantasies can be somewhat common and do not themselves signify something is wrong. What does concern me is how you are all involved in all of this. If your father promised your mother he would not indulge in this type of play, then did, that's a breach of trust. However, you shouldn't even know about any of this. It's between your parents. Unless your father is doing something that is dangerous to your kids, which is not described here, you shouldn't even be privy. Now, I understand you may have a moral objection to these thoughts, and the fact that dad has them creeps you out. I get it. But that's the thing. Kids are not supposed to know what kind of sexual fantasies their parents have. As far as the nightmare, I'm so sorry. Have you talked to your mom? I'd really recommend a therapist. You need help navigating this situation, sweetheart. Though this is way over your head. And I'm not saying that to insult you. It's not even your age. It's that these are your parents. Can you get an appointment as soon as possible? Blade Mom says, well, porn is pretty normal. The stuff he's fantasizing about isn't normal per se, but he's using a fantasy setting to get his rocks off. Whether it's healthy or not is not to say. What I find most concerning is your mother sharing all this with her children. Like, what the hell? What the actual hell is she thinking? If he's creepy or you feel unsafe around them, or he's done it and said something that you think may be sexual, act on it. Do something, tell someone, even get proof you're able. But from what you described, he hasn't actually done anything other than questionable fetishes that he was trying to have in private. Clement T replies to this and says, I was like, those are just games. I'm sure children around her age are playing games where they kill people, even her friends. Does that mean that her friends want to kill her? No. And why is her mother sharing all of this with her? Sounds like manipulation on the mom's part. OP should be scared of the mom, not the dad. I7AZ forever says, exactly, questionable behavior from the mom. Either board 8614 says, he never touched you, never said anything appropriate to you. Over 50% of men watch porn or play porn games due to an unsatisfied sex life or addiction. Honestly, so far your dad has done nothing wrong except maybe hide it a bit better. Generally speaking, he is pretty normal. What's up with him and your mom is for them to figure out. What you can do is talk to your dad about the thing and your concerns. Communication makes it easy. Yeah, Dad, I'm having nightmares about you raping me. And my sisters also have these same nightmares. What should we do? Take your magnesium before you go to bed, my child. And the rape fantasies will invade your mind no more. So, how would you feel if your dad hadn't, or if you hadn't been told about his private life? If you'd been fine with him, then you know what the actual fact is that your mother who's been inappropriate here. She should have never told you the details of his private sexual life. That's a complete violation of his privacy and abusive towards you. You should have never known this. You'd never have felt this way if you hadn't been told. And I think you get the fucking point. Oh, this is a good one. Madfoot says, all I can think of is the guy in France who drugged his wife and maybe daughter and let others rape her. Girl, run. Then either board 862, who I read before, says, you are a 57-year-old woman with a 14-year-old daughter. You can't even take care of her, and you advise another 16-year-old girl to leave her family. I wish your 14-year-old daughter would leave you too. The Redditor, everybody, in their natural habitat. But how does this affect you personally? Yes. Yes, I instructed mother to not inform me about father's rape fantasies anymore. Indeed. Alright. Sorry that the stream had so many tech issues, chat. Like I said, over the weekend I will be doing the probably the Karl Jobst video, because that's the only time it's going to be. By the way, there was a post I forgot to mention where Karl says that it really pisses him off that when people call him Karl Jobst instead of Karl Jobst, even though that's how it's pronounced because it's a Germanic name. Karl is German, Jobst is German, so he pronounces his own name fucking wrong. But it makes me really happy to know that when I did my Asian ironing board review many years ago, I was additionally pissing him off in a way I didn't even know possible by pronouncing his name in the correct Germanic way, which he apparently is not a fan of. So I just have a natural talent to piss off everybody for every reason. Anyways, locals over the weekend, I will be doing the Karl book review. I'll take a read of that tonight. Thank you for watching. I will do the super chats now. Appreciate it. Let's see. Bam. Bam. Fatty for 2 says, can you play the 22-second little song I sent in an email in honor of the total Ralph Hamel victory? I don't even know what you're talking about, bro. I didn't get an email with a Ralph video on it. Awakened 34 for 10 says, so comics that I would suggest reviewing is number 1, Mouse Guard, like Redwall, if you ever read that, and something from my childhood, and also number 2, Ghostbusters is Place Aggression, Ghostbusters and Time Travel. I have absolutely no fucking clue what has brought up the topic of comic books. I really don't know. I'm not really I'm not like trying to get into comic books. I just read the Rippaverse ones. And Awaken 34 for 1 says, also, I sound hammered because my brain runs faster than my hands and I usually work when you stream. I don't think that your message wasn't that bad, bro. The Mac user 751 for 5 says, 3 years ago or so, I said something about you being too hard on Rekieta. Just wanted to say I was retarded levels of wrong. Only extremely high IQ people such as myself can see the dangers coming a mile away. Don't be too hard on yourself. Health Hazard for $20 says, your recent Twitter ranting has me wanting to show support for all the great streams, sending love from the island you hate so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, I am under a great deal of stress. The United States is very expensive. The United States is a higher cost of living than Europe is. Just so you know. Even like in real European countries, it's expensive in this fucking place. Ling Konk for 5 says the holiday is almost upon us, and then there is a cat box file. I have honestly no idea what the fuck I'm looking at. Oh, it's a bag of plagues for Easter. Wow, that's inventive. Teach the little kids about boils and cattles. I guess. And the dead firstborn. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Stupid fuck for 5 says, I was a 420 channel for years. Kurt is a Fed. He was recruited in 07 after the I-board hacked an Islamic extremist forum. He will deny it, but I got away with way too much super illegal shit. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of those guys are compromised. I mean, he literally admits to it, though. He worked for the Canadian federal government to hack the trucker thing. Lalanthia for 10 says, if Pim Tool invited you to go live on his show, would you do it? Thank you, Josh. Opening song was a banger. Depends on what the topic is, maybe. I'm not particularly interested, though. I don't think that he's good to have a conversation with. He's like a midwit, and he really wants to be the smartest person in a room. Thank you. TP Deluxe for 2 says, Josh posts pics of Old Bay vodka. Now he's terminally late and gay. Old boys. Rekieta Arcade coming. I have not touched my vodka. I'm afraid that I'm extremely, cripplingly sober at the moment. I haven't had any caffeine over Lent, by the way. I'm completely clean of everything. I'm on my diet. I'm not drinking. I haven't had any caffeine. I have on nothing. Nothing except magnesium and vitamin D. That's it. That's my fucking existence right now, and it sucks. Doodle Jeff for 5 says, at the end of your streams, you should play Rats by Pearl Jam. Maybe. I do like Pearl Jam. Stupid fuck for 2 says, today I saw a Maddie FB group and someone on the image of the guy that says, kill your local pedophile, but kill was covered by the hood. Reminded me of Ralph's Kid Diddler hat. I need to be more active in the Facebook group, maybe. I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. I have mixed opinions about it. I don't think Mark Zuckerberg wants me on it. And the streaming system sucks on it. I've seen that too. It's funny. Rib Lag Lalti for 20 says, share these monies. With who? The federal government, if you insist. Thank you. Dios mío, la criatera for 2 says, I passed a behavioral interview thanks in part to your racist podcast, specifically your artistic ramblings about Blue Sky. Now I have a $180,000 a year gig. Here's double my usual donation, $2. Tips Fedora. Thank you. I appreciate it very much. Your $2. I don't know what behavioral interview means, though. So hey, that's how long it's been since I had a job. Porglack, for 1 says, I lost my credit card in the ocean and Rumble declared me too retarded to donate. Retards rise up. Okay, here's the funny story. It's true. So I went up to the Chesapeake, right, to get some Old Bay vodka and Blue Crab. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'll show you. And on my way back, I had to pass through Baltimore. Because you have to do like a loop-de-loop from the Delmarva around DC to get to the highway to go down. And here's the picture, by the way, in case you're curious. That is a nest of ospreys. So I stopped by in Baltimore and just to get gas. And Baltimore was like scary. I walked into a convenience store. The convenience store has an Indian guy in it. But there's like 3 inches, legit 3 inches of bulletproof glass surrounding this Indian guy who's the teller of this gas station. And there's a little window, but the window is like a spinning like plate that has on 3 different sides bulletproof glass of the same thickness. So at no point ever is it possible to see a direct line of sight of the teller because this thing spins around as you put stuff in and out of it. There was a black woman in front of me who was on their phone, and she was talking to Hobu, and the other black lady on the other line was talking about how someone stole $200 out of her car, and she was real pissed off about this. And then she tried to pay with her phone, and it did not work. So she had to leave line to go to her car to get her cards, because she only brought her phone, apparently. This left me as next in line with a Gatorade. And the Indian man says, Sir, my good sir, I cannot cancel her transaction right now, but if you have money, I know exactly how much that Gatorade is worth. And if you can give me cash, I'll give you exact change at the top of my head without ringing up. So I put my Gatorade into the spinning disc of bulletproof glass, and I got my money and I got my change. I left. I start enjoying my Gatorade in my car, and I'm planning on it takes me a couple minutes because I'm trying to figure out where I am and how to get back onto the interstate and get back to where I'm going, right? So while I'm in here, a black man with like one of those high visibility vests starts walking up to my car, and I'm getting like fight or flight instinct. I'm like, do I have to lock? Because I'm like in the fucking ghetto of Baltimore. I'm like, okay, do I lock my car? Do I drive away? Is he gonna like beg me for money or something? What do I do? And I legit almost lock the door because he's walking straight at me. And as I do this, as I reach for the door lock, he holds up my credit card. And I recognize it immediately because it's a really distinct looking card. And I'm like, holy fuck, thank you so much. And I realized when I bought with cash, I had my card in my hand already. And I must have set it down somewhere or dropped it just because I was fumbling with the cash then. And this kindly black man from Baltimore brings me my fucking card back. And I'm just like stunned because I would have been fucked if I lost my card. So... everyone in Baltimore and my experience so far in DC and Baltimore, everyone's extremely nice. I had they're like the two most infamous cities in the entire U.S. and so far I have nothing but 100% positive experiences in the area. So I don't know, man. I'm lucking out only in that particular part of the world. Everything else is not going my way. But he copied my card details, maybe. They wouldn't know my zip code, so you can't buy anything with it. Okay. It is. It's my positive poly aura. You're right. That's exactly what it is. Romberger producer says, you idiots let Stripe just walk up and alt your entire team. A payment processor that's not even fucking there at 395 move speed. You idiots deserve to be debanked. It's true, I do. I'm a loser. The ghost of low tax for one says, please, Josh, I need this. My mom is kind of homeless. I live with my dad. I'm trying to help her out. I don't know what that... I honestly don't know what that means. Tetravax for $200 says, Ocarina of Time was a big part of my childhood like most autists. Thanks for the memories. Thank you, Tetravax. I appreciate it. I've never played Ocarina of Time. I think... I played Ocarina of Time on like a demo disc that came with the Wind Waker, and I never got past the Deku Tree or something. But I played I never beat games as a kid. I gave up too easy. I did beat Wind Waker. I went all the way up to fucking Ganon and I killed him because that was a great ass fucking game. And I played like the after. Like, I just sailed around and did everything in that game. Because I just love sailing. And I love how the game looked. And I love the music. And I love, like, the at-sea combat. Like, there's nothing else like that ever. In fact, I've never played anything else like that ever. Thank you. Bean the Bunny for 10 says, might as well just kipper smoked herring with some brie, cheese, and crackers makes for a nice lunch. That actually sounds fucking fantastic. Like, you have no idea. Making me hungry, bro. Thank you. Stupid Fuck for 2 says, listen to Tour de Japon playlist on YouTube. It's a concert of some of the best music from Final Fantasy played by an orchestra. Nobuo Uematsu is the greatest composer of all time. Okay, that's Tour de Japon playlist. Maybe I will. I never played Final Fantasy either, I don't think. Koyadante for 10 says, had to reset my computer recently. Did you know the new Windows Notepad has input lag? Incredible. How do you add bloat to a raw text editor? Is only possible through advanced Indian methods. Because every keystroke you press is being sent to a remote server, so that delay is from the ping, bro. Just so you know. Thank you. Porglak 5 says, Gurgle Gobble Guben Grottle Mig Magut Saba 534 Dirksen. I don't know what that means, but thank you. That's the address for the controller of currency. Interesting. Coley Dante for 10 says, I have accounts I've never attached to 2FA to, and now I'm locked out because I'm typing my username and password on an unfamiliar device. I have the fucking password. I'm not giving you my number. Yeah, they do that a lot. It's like on fucking YouTube. It's like, oh, you're using an unfamiliar browser? We're not going to let you play video now. Awesome. Coley Dante, for instance, how would the number tell you I'm the same guy if you don't have my number? It adds zero security, and only with the username and password a phone could log in. Dude, it's just they want your fucking number. They're data harvesting you. That's how it works. Thank you. Spieglecat for 10 says, Josh, every time someone doesn't thumbnail their image, and then there is a Catbox file. Oh boy.
This man tells me I don't know how to make a PDF. Do you understand why? Because this shit to my face, nigga. You gonna lie to me about a fucking PDF, you faggot ass nigga?
It's true. I'm exactly like that. Hood and all. That's the hood that he's wearing in black skinhead. Thank you. Sneedistani for 5 says, Jersh, I get the feeling you've never been to Birmingham, America. No, I've never been to Birmingham. I just assume it's better than the UK, because I think every city in the US is. Space Allen for 1 whole Kayla says, Ham Jam. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it. We will find out soon if Aaron actually has to pay 1 Rekieta, what the value of a Kayla actually is. So we'll know for sure soon. Mousecap5 for 10 says, any English person who is worth a damn either moved to the colonies or died in the world wars. All they have left are cowards and weaklings. Exactly. Sounds so familiar for some reason when you say it like that. Schwarzwald Null for 5 says, recently subscribed to your locals. I have yet to even offer 1 solitary bump of coke from a middle-aged, drunken, leathery wine aunt. What kind of operation are you running here? Unfortunately, my locals will never be as good as Rekieta's locals. That's why I don't make the big bucks. That's why I suffer. Red Eyes Black Dragon for 5 says, press N and chat to nuke England. I'm pressing N, bro. I'm pressing N. Fuck England. Borello Furman for 1 says, Brittany Venti has opened husband applications. Go get them, Tiger. Fuck off. Euclid Sneed for 1 says, in Australia, for the tip, all you need for the license of the state you live in, or pay like $10 and have unlimited trucks. Fuck the UK. In the US, I want to say it's like $1 for like a 30-gallon bag or some shit. It's pretty cheap. Logistical Nightmare for 10 says, happy Friday, Josh. This Lenten season, I do agree with you that I'm very glad not to be a Poogie. There you go. There you go. That's the positive poly attitude. Thank you. Generic username and password for 5 says, when I was in college, I had a native Japanese professor. She told us Japanese media is so emotional and wacky because their jobs are so stressful that it's the only thing stopping them from Sudoku. I have heard that before. Not sure how I believe in that. Like, I've heard that. Like the Japanese are so overworked that they just want to go home and curl up in a blanket and suck on a pacifier and edge to weirdo tentacle rape porn and listen to a VTuber make like baby voices. That's the only thing stopping them from imploding under the stress of their lives. I don't know if I believe that. Eugless Need for 5 says, if you liked Billy Elliot, you should give About a Boy with Hugh Grant. Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember liking it. I just watched it. I did like there was a weird drama about the Queen, I think, after Princess Diana died. I actually like that. That was a little bit out of my sphere, but I did watch a documentary about the Queen. And I remember thinking that the Queen was probably the best of the English because she's German. Holy How for 5 says, I hope you're having a good day, Josh. You're reminded about always. Thank you, Holy How. I do appreciate it. I am having a good day. David S877 for 25 says, I'm sure I had something profound and useful to say, but well, here's $25. I reserve the right to say something interesting later. Thank you. I do appreciate it. Hopefully you can come up with your interesting thing. Antifa for 15 says, today was a shitty day. I am overworked and my car broke down, but it was on the way to LAN party right before my vacation. What a time to be alive. That sucks, bro. Get a rental, I guess, if you can afford it. Yeah, car troubles are never fun. It's like the worst fucking feeling when you're like stranded. Thank you. Holy How for 2 says, 2 makes a gun vision block. 2 make a gun vision thing to block Keffals meaty flappers. Do we need like a meaty flapper censorship sticker that I can put over him? I think we do, actually. Dizzy Until Death for 5 says, the year is 2055, the last tranny is in captivity, the galaxy is at peace. This is the future that we deserve, and we must work for it every day, diligently. Anime Extremist for 2 says, did you know that the YouTuber Synthetic Man, he's a really funny right-wing video game critic. His videos are really good, and his live streams had me dying. A bunch of BreadTubers have a hate boner for him. I've never seen them, no. Sorry. A Laughing Hyena for 5 says, what an educational system. I learned true and honest women think about their penis a lot. Yeah, they sure do. The Ghost of Lotax for 1 says, thoughts on this Xeets. And then there's an attachment. Let's see what it is. Kanye West says, I'm jealous of white people. I wish I could say the word neighbor and it be offensive. It is a power. You just got to hit the hard R even harder, Kanye. Then it'll be offensive again. Borglak, for one, says, as an owner and operator of the Kiwi farms, when do you think the frickin' fricks will figure out the consequences of their actions? People learn the consequences of their action on the Kiwi farms every single day. Sneedo, for one, says, proof from last week's super chat. And there's an Elon Musk post. I'm opening it. Oh, Elon's tranny son, Vivian, had liked to post that mentioned the Kiwi farm. So that's our closest association to Elon. Tetrabax for $20 says, rip in peace, my beautiful butter-filled princess. Gross. Thank you. Tetrabax for 20 says, that's not what the box says to do on my mac and cheese. Wanda's macaroni salad is far superior to mac and cheese because it has a whole pint of real mayonnaise, bro. Don't get it twisted. Devious the V for one says, shootin' pearls. Thank you for the Ghost reference. Devious the V for one says, I can't prove it, but Ghost is the one who raided Elon's stream. Sounds like defamation, bro. He would never be a troll terrorist, cyber vermin himself. Sergeant Wizardfist for 10 says, the company I work for is owned by some Chinese who is super rich and he's trying to buy the gold card and move everything here. He says China is getting raped, but that's what he told me. I am retarded. Yeah, China's not having a good day in the stock market because their economy is very export focused. So that's how it works. Thank you. Sergeant Wizardfist. Wait, no, I read it. Awaken 34 for 2 says, do you watch Godzilla movies? No. If so, what's your favorite? I don't have any. Do you watch Godzilla movies? If so, what's your favorite? I don't have any. Mine is Final Wars. I don't understand, bro. I don't watch Godzilla stuff. Hydrofluorolanthen for 5 says, holy shit, Jobs has been gooning for my entire lifespan. He sure has, buddy. He sure has. And he didn't even get he didn't even get like a Japanese woman. He got like a Chinese or like Vietnamese woman. The uncle uncredited for 5 says, what fucking time do you call this Nika? Anyways, Crime Boss Rocket City is 90% off on Steam and 75% off on PS5. Everyone buy it. I don't even know what game that is, bro. This is a weird time slot. You're right. Humble Guardsman for $7 says, first stream in a year, I can't listen live. Sneed on to your future. Well, this is a good stream to miss because I fucked everything up. Listen to the VOD. Jihad Joe for 10 says, I subbed to my locals because you said to. I have no agency of my own. That's how you got to do it. You got to say, subscribe now. Boom. You have no choice. Boom. Do it right now. Boom. Press the button. Thank you. Jump through the fucking hoops that locals has set up, so it takes you 20 fucking minutes to make an account. Do it right now. Porglack for one says, ever read The Ones Who Walk Away from Omelas? Basically what they do to Zoomer locales. No, I've never read that, sorry. Not Spurg Zerker for $100 says, amazing stream, Josh. Thanks for your service. You're welcome very much. I appreciate it very much. Byron from the Dragon King for 5 says, hey Josh, gotta ask, did you play all 3 Spyro games on the PS1? If so, which was your favorite? I really like Year of the Dragon for the nostalgia. I remember only the one, I think I only played the second one where there's Mr. Moneybags and the first one. The first one is a classic fucking game though. The one with Mr. Moneybags didn't even fucking compete with the first one. The Orange Cow for 10 says, hey, my name is Josh. I can't recognize that people saying stupid things in support of a cause damages the cause. Now let me call Trump an orange neighbor while soliciting help for my banking issues. But he is. I mean, they're not going to unpause it. I don't know what you want me to say, bro. I'm supposed to be nice. They're not going to fucking unpause it. They could have unpaused it at any second. It's been 3 fucking months. It's not fucking happening. I'm sorry. Me saying anything about Trump, not going to infect it. I could be really nice about Trump. I could be really mean about Trump. My words don't matter. Nobody cares what I have to say. I could say anything. It's not going to affect the outcome. Brandawoo Hyperbimbo for 10 says, does this cover make you feel any different about the new Kanye song? And then there's a Feared Buck Twitter link. I don't know what that means. Let's see.
She wanna hop in a Rari. 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 I see that I look in your eyes. She wanna hop in a ride. I see that you're ready to die. I see that you're ready to die. They telling me that I'm bully. I'm Edison, made it fully. They say that I'm Eddie like Healer. But how am I Eddie like Healer when I'm a fucking nigga?
How am I acting right? Hitler. I give it a 5 out of 10. Unkind Naysayer for 5 says, trailer trash arc upcoming. Work from home as a drug dealer. Putting this towards your new career. Bro, I think I'd make more money slinging dope at this point. Sneedo for 1 says, the car review guy is shooting cars. Ironically, he makes much more money, has a better life than Gun. Probably also me. Spingle Cat for you says, you drink all the Old Bay vodka, didn't you? Also link. Great, let's see the link. I did not drink anything, I already said. Dallas Liam says he pedophiled across the room Mohammedly. Now that is a very dangerous way to pedophile across a room. Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator for 5 says, Glorious Kiwi Emperor, hurry up so you can finish this before Kino Casino starts, buddy. I'm working, bro. I'm working overtime. Thank you. Sneed Cricket for 5 says, today I learned the EU, they mandated adaptive headlights that will reduce glare at night by projecting the light towards the ground when light is detected. I use Forescan as a white man does to add this to my car here for the USA. I mean, that sounds really nice. I can't open this. It's going to be an archive link. I'll try like twice, 2 different crosswalks. If that's not enough, it does go. Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, I've driven through Europe. You never have this fucking issue where you're completely blinded and you can't even see the fucking ground. Like, the lights in the US are so bright, everything is light. The only thing you can do is look down at the double yellow line and pray to fucking God that you can follow them. Because you have to keep your eyes open, especially if they're coming around a bend and you gotta like follow the bend and you're also blind while doing it. You just gotta keep your eyes open and suck it up and deal with it, because that dumb motherfucker can't get like real headlights because he's like he lives in like a dark driveway, so instead of just having really bright high beams, he just drives around with high beams on constantly. Kyle Seraphin for $100 says, no, child. 764 is not real, child. You are mentally insane, child. The FBI is lying to you, child. Only I am allowed to dox people, child. Sorry, dox people, child. I did nothing wrong, and then I did target practice less than 850 yards from a high school, child. I don't know anything about Kyle Seraphin, so you can tell me anything, and I might believe it. Hexagon 5555 for 5 says, Frieden Duck Mach. Frieden Duck Mach. I don't know what that means. I don't know what Frieden means. Because it's fry, is when you say like fry hide. I don't know what that means, bro. I'm sorry. Neighbor Trump for 5 says, I can't believe that my Oshi Null is so fat he got sucked in the 3rd row seat of a Ford Taurus. Does not look anything like me. He literally looks nothing like me at all. I don't understand. This is the issue of streaming to a bunch of autistic people, because you guys are fucking face blind. Tim Misk for 10 says, as one of my favorite races, it's the time for you to prove how good you are at ethno guessing. Okay, I'll play 1 round of this at the end of the stream. Racist soft shell crab for 1. Thank you, by the way. For 1 says, 1 soft shell crab and a picture of a bottle of Old Bay vodka was all it took for you to get Twitter in full caps, locked, tilting, dropping in bombs like a true Marylander. Based. Kurt Eichel on Anime Masturbator for 5 says, Glorious Kiwi Emperor, how are you liking my anime reviews? So this guy is sending me a fucking like a voicemail every single day, and I'm just completely not reading them. So that's how I feel about them. Monero Extremist for 1 says, is it true that Rumble takes 20% of your super chats? Reminder to everyone to donate super chats on Xmart chat that can be made even when the stream is off, and 100% of the money goes to the streamer. I don't know how much they take, to be quite honest. They could take half. What am I going to do? Am I going to argue? I'm fucked. I can't do nothing. I can't do shit. If you can find a way for people to buy... Someone sent me a way to buy Monero with like a credit card with no know your customer. If you want to send that to me again, be my guest. Sneedo for 1 says, so you were in the filming location of The Wire. I don't know what The Wire is. I'm sorry. What are your thoughts on PWR? I liked what I've seen of him. He seems like a classic lolcow, to be honest. And Insensitive 045 says, hey, I'm just speculating here, but don't you have serious potential to sue Stripe for defamation since they're making false assertions of fact? There is nothing you can do about these companies because they're not making it publicly, they're making it privately. So it's like, it's not like they're saying this shit. Like, there's nothing you can do, bro. There's nothing you can do. Okay, I'll play Ethnoguesser 1 second. And then don't send any more super chats because I'm not reading anymore. We're going to play the game. Okay. So, click to place your guess. Those look Asian. I'm going to say like Cambodia. Oh, I'm completely wrong. You can't do that. It's bullshit. You can't use native people because they look Asian. So how the fuck am I going to know that this is like a group from like Western Canada? That's bullshit. I don't give a fuck about native. Nobody cares about natives. God, these guys look Bulgarian. I'm close. Oh, I am. No, that's right. That's right there. Okay. These guys look really dark, but I want to say that's like Incan looking. I'll say Incan. Pretty close. That's Mexican. I don't get any points for this though. Fuck you. This is another chinky face. This is gonna be like some bullshit. This is like the Kim Chalids in fucking Russia or some shit. I can't believe I got that. How did I? Is it the Chutch Kid? Oh my god, bro! I'm telling you. Okay. Next. God, what the fuck is that? The Asian looks Korean, and then the other person looks like Russian or something. I'm gonna guess like North, like I don't know, like maybe like here. Maybe no, they don't look Japanese. That guy looks Russian as fuck, bro. I'm gonna guess this. What is this? Kazakhstani or Uralic, dude? These are like I've never even heard of these fucking people. That is a fucking Pajit. I'm gonna say like Nepalese Pajit. What? What? Yemen? Oh my god. Okay, this guy is super, super black. I wonder if this is like a trick one where they're like from Papua New Guinea or something, as opposed to like actually Africa. But they look actually Africa. I'm gonna say this is like Somalia or something. So I'm gonna guess here to be like safe. Yeah. That's what I thought. This is like another fucking Asian. I hate this shit. This is like definitely North American. I'm gonna say that this is like up in Montana or some shit, like the Blackfoot tribe. Oh, of course, this is the Incan one, bro. I don't care about natives. Nobody cares about native people. There should be no GeoGuessr anywhere on the fucking North American continent, okay? Super black. He looks Nigerian, but they're not gonna make it Nigerian. It's gonna be like, yeah, he's so black. He's got black in his eyes. He does look Nigerian though. I'm gonna say Central African. Oh, okay. It wasn't Nigerian. If I had guessed Nigeria, it would have been closer. Another fucking Asian couple. These look super Asian. You know what? This looks like Laos. Yeah! Base. Yeah, I can tell Asian people apart. I can't tell them apart from fucking Native Americans, though. Okay. There we go. All right. I got 2,000. I had 3 perfect rounds. So 2,000 seems really fucking low. Dude, I can't tell the difference between Asian and North American. You are Laotian. That's right. All right. No more of this. Thank you guys very much for watching. I appreciate it. I will see you guys next Friday. Or if you are on the Gumroad, then you'll see my wonderful review of the Karl Jobst dating book, which I'm sure is just magnificent, full of rich information that you never even would have thought of, never would have considered. Take it easy. See you then. Bye-bye. Where's my song? There we go.